Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are around the world. Welcome. We are so excited to have you here in our G20 International Planet Cabinet. We know that this is a very important topic. It's a subject of interest, and it's definitely vital to everything that we do when we talk about sustainability. It's a conversation that impacts our future. Today, we come together to engage, inspire, and innovate as we delve into the intricacies of our topic. It is to foster collaboration and share knowledge that transcends boundaries. I'm really excited about the pointers that we'll be talking about today because they each one really showcase why it's so important for us to get involved in education. As the current president of World Education Policy, we as a consortium look for all ways to eliminate and eradicate all barriers to education. But one of the things that we see time and time again around the world when we evaluate policies is a lack of knowledge when it comes to sustainability. We see it maybe in a science class, we may see it in a biology class, we may see it in a flower class or plant, but we don't really see it in an everyday. As part of World Education Policy, we believe, just like math and science are so important, if these are the future leaders of the countries that we live in, and this is the world that we live in, we believe that a sustainability class should be included in every single one of our classes. It could be once a day, it could be once a week, but no less. I've had the opportunity to speak to many different educators, government officials, and civic organizations. And every time that we bring up the subject, they say, yes, you are right, but nothing is ever done. I am counting on this group of movers and shakers, a group that is committed to education, but most importantly, committed that our future generations have a place to live. Time and time again, sustainability is just not about nature. It's just not about climate change. Sustainability is everything. Everything that involves that we can guarantee future generations the life that we have, the freedoms that we've had, the rights that we've had, or better. But what we're seeing around the world is that we are leaving our children and grandchildren a life that's less than what we had. And that is not acceptable. So today's topic is so important to the well-being, not only of humans, but of the entire living creatures that live in this planet. So welcome to every single one of you. Thank you, Dr. Srividhya, for allowing me to always give this introduction and this welcome. I want to thank you, and I know you'll mention all our partners. And as part of IIU, International Internship University, we are so proud to be part of this team, be part of your group. What you do in every single one of your events, I haven't really seen anywhere else. And we always talk about discipline and dedication that comes with it. So thank you, Dr. Srividhya, for inviting us, for allowing us to be partners in this wonderful group. And I wish you all a great show today. Thank you. Namaste.
Thank you, Dr. Virginia. That was a wonderful start indeed with some of your insights that you have shared. Well, I go with you truly, wholeheartedly, as education is a fundamental right, not merely a privilege or a commodity, stated UN Secretary General Ban Ki-moon during the World Education Forum on Sustainable Developmental Goals on Education. This principle has been the guiding principle behind our topic today, Education 360. Educate all goals, 17 goals leading to one planet, that is green planet, that we are talking about. With our presidency as ensure inclusive, equitable, quality education, and that will promote lifelong learning opportunities for all. As we all know, education is a passport to the future. For tomorrow belongs to those who prepare for it today. As definitely Malcolm X has mentioned, as they say, I don't dream, but I create my destiny. They don't wait for the doors to open or the windows to open, but they create their own doors and windows, their channels, their avenues to move forward, to create their own world. As we all know, destiny itself is a beautiful, wonderful white tapestry. In every thread and thread, it's guided by unspeakable tender hand placed by another thread and held it carried on to 100 others. as we all stand together with eminent personalities across the globe, let's create such a cult, a civilization. And that civilization is going to really of paramount importance, and it's going to form its own paradigm, saying that the future of the civilization, to a great extent, is not built in the four walls of the classroom, but it is built in the reality, in the environment. And for it is not a past, it is not a future, it's not the future, but it is actually the present that we are going to create. So it's of paramount importance to create such an ambience that shapes the mind of the younger generations to come, who are actually the inheritors of the earth. So a true enlightening education, the dream that we are talking about, is the one that is built on love, respect, commitment, devotion, inclusiveness, that cultivates a curious, adaptable, mind-grounded, openness, fearless students with an explorative learning spirit, guided by the moral principles, values and principles that are applicable in the real world. As said in, where there is righteousness in the heart, there is beauty in the character. When there is beauty in the character, there is harmony in the home. When there is harmony in home, there is order in the nation. When there is order in the nation, there is always peace in the world. So this kind of education that we are dreaming about will instill a deep sense of self-reliance, self-discipline, honesty, courage in the minds of the future generation, who will remain steadfast in their commitments in whatever they are doing, whether it is sustainability or inclusiveness, anything, that they will be challenging the challenges, and they will become individuals who will equip with skills to tackle those enthusiastically and embrace all new opportunities with a sense of duty and commitment. They will create a cult of respecting and celebrating differences that are sculptured in the values of understanding, love, empathy, tolerance, etc., and emerge as innovative leaders who are determined to effect a transformative change, a paradigm shift in their communities and the wider world, and positively contribute to the society to improve the world. So it is always, as said, I always take this quote. Please allow me to take this quote even over here. It's from our Upanishad, Asatoma Sadgamaya, Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya, Mrityoma Amritam Gamaya, Om Shanti Shanti Shantihi. That means this education system will lead everyone from the ignorance to the truth, that is with the art of self-realization, with the environment realization. Lead us from darkness to light, Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya, lead us from darkness to light with all knowledge sharing, with the awareness campaign, with everything. It will bring enlightenment in the self and to others as well. Mrityoma Amritam Gamaya. This enlightenment will lead us to liberation. That is, we will liberate from all our fears, our doubts, our whatever thing, negativity that we are talking about, and it will make our world a better place to live in. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti, with a very peaceful coincidence. This type of education that we are focusing on will empower our students to become active participants in the communities, where students are given opportunities to engage in projects that will require critical thinking, green skills, etc., problem solving abilities that will enable them to develop the skills to address the real world issues. This approach will also recognize the value of experiential learning, where the students can learn from the community, engage with all diverse perspectives, and develop a deeper understanding of the world around them. By participating in such community projects and initiatives, our students will gain a great sense of empathy, compassion, social responsibility, which can help them from bringing the effective change as change makers, torch bearers in the community, and lead our community far and beyond. So this kind of education that we are dreaming, that we are talking about as Education 360, is not a preparation for life, but life itself. It's a process of enlightenment. We don't teach our students, but we inspire them, we guide them as lead kindly light. As said again in our Hindu mythology, Aham Brahmasmi, we are like a stained glass. We sparkle and shine through the gleaming beauty of our own spectrum. We mirror and create ourselves. As said in those words, as such, I don't paint my dreams, but I paint my own reality. So let's experience the past, experiment with the present, and evolve for the future, such that we will create such an environment that we are talking about. It is all in the creation, that is Education 360, a holistic approach to achieving the 17 Sustainable Developmental Goals. On this note, please join hands with me to welcome our eminent guests who have joined in today. Welcome, sir, Professor D. Viswanathan, sir, who is a Rector of Research and Development, former Vice Chancellor of Dr. MGR Education Institute, who is a Rector Research Development of Dr. MGR Research Institute and a former Vice Chancellor of Anna University. Thank you, sir. It is a greatest privilege and honor to have you with us. And allow me to say a few words about you, sir, please. Thank you. Thank you so much. Sir has been a mechanical engineer during his PhD. He has worked on the Trishul missile project, which was supported by His Excellency Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, who was then the director of DRDL in 1984. Dr. Viswanathan has closely worked for his research and development with DRDO, HAL, Atomic Research Centers, ISRO, RRL, DMRL, and many leading industries. He has guided 5 PhD scholars in the field of mechanical engineering and media technology. Sir has published more than 50 national and international research publications. Sir has received the most prestigious International Socrates Award from the European Business Assembly UK at the famous Oxford Hall, and this award was conferred on him for his outstanding achievements in excellence in technical education and research, for his remarkable reputation and successful personal achievements. Please allow me to mention here with due respects to him, he is the first Indian to receive this award, and he is also awarded as Colonel Commandant of NCC by the Ministry of Defence, Government of India. Thank you, sir. It is a greatest honor and privilege to have you amidst us today, and it's just a blessing. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Srividhya.
Thank
you, Srividhya.
Yes, sir.
One more award, it is not, you have not mentioned. The Officer of the Order of Academic Palms, this highest civil distinction award of France. I received it from the Prime Minister, and probably again first Indian to receive after 200 years of its institution by Napoleon.
We are so blessed to have you here, sir. It's just a blessing, I tell you. Thank you, sir. Thank you. I cherish this moment like anything today. along with you, we are joined with Dr. RENE Robin. Thank you, sir. Thanks for joining us. He is a professor, CSC, and Dean of Innovation from Sairam Engineering College. Thank you, sir. Thanks for joining us. And little more words if I would like to add on with Dr. RENE Robin. He's from the district of Tamil Nadu. He has received his ME and PhD degrees from CEG Anna University in India. And he's currently working as a professor and Dean in Innovation of Sairam Group of Institutions. And his area of interest include ontological engineering knowledge management, that is e-learning, semantic web, etc. He is a recognized supervisor in Anna University to guide the PhD and MSc candidates of computer engineering. And he has written a book on the role of ontology in software risk management, KM approach, which was published by LMB Lambert Publishing House, Germany. He has contributed on chapter Onto KMS Tech, an ontology-based knowledge management framework to teach engineering courses, for the book Knowledge Processes in Software Development, that was published by IGI Global USA. And he's also a professional member of ACM, and ACM recognized him as an ambassador. And he is a lifetime member of ISTE and a member of several professional bodies. And also, sir has also assisted and successfully completed the PhD, currently working with 7 research scholars who are doing the research under him. He is with the doctoral committee of Anna University, Satyabama University, and VIT University, Chennai. And also, on that note, he has received a mentor award from IBM during the felicitation ceremony of the Great Mind Challenge of 2011. He has got the Young IT Professional Award of 2012. By Computer Society of India at the regional level. He has also received an award for teaching excellence in Indo Global Education Summit of 2013. So, welcome, sir, Dr. RENE Robin. It's greatest pleasure having you here. So many accolades.
Thank you.
Really. It's
Thank you so much.
Honor and privilege to have you with us. Along with them, we are joined with Dr. Vinod Shukla. Dr. Vinod Shukla is representing Amity University, Dubai. Thank you, sir. Thanks for joining us. He is the Head of Academics, School of Engineering, Architecture, and Interior Designing of Amity University, Dubai. So Dr. Vinod Shukla is from the Computer Science Department. He's currently working in Amity University as Associate Professor and Head of Academics in the School of Engineering, Architecture, and Interior Designing. And in September 22, Dr. Vinod Shukla has been ranked in top 2% scientist Stanford list of 2022. He is an active member of IEEE. He has published many research papers in various reputed journals and conferences. Sir has also completed the General Management Program in IIM of Ahmedabad, and he has conducted many training programs, including training employees of Delhi Transco Limited and Indian Portal of Meghdut Bhagwan Delhi, and the Director of General Resettlement DGR in Inter-Service Organization functioning directly under the Ministry of Defence. So, Sir has also written a case study on online retail in the UAE, driven to grow, and also contributed during our Prime Minister visit over here in this part of the world. Thank you, sir. And he holds an international patent in the field of international information technology. Thank you, Dr. Shukla. Thanks for joining us. It's a great pleasure of having you all on this platform.
Thank you so much. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. So moving ahead, like introducing our topic for today, Education 360 is an innovative approach that integrates education with a sustainable development, aiming to contribute to the achievement of 17 sustainable goals. On that note, before we start speaking, I would like to hear from our guests who have joined us today. Yes, sir. Professor Viswanathan, sir, please, your insights.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Srividhya. It is both an honor and privilege to address this distinguished gathering of scholars, educators, and policymakers. Today's theme, inclusive, equitable, quality education, is not just timely, it is foundational to the future we are collectively shaping. In the context of higher education, inclusion and equity are not abstract details, they are imperatives. As custodians of knowledge and architects of national progress, we must ensure that our universities do not merely impart information, but also embody justice, diversity, and opportunity. We are gathered here at a moment when the future of our education system is being actively shaped by your leadership, decisions, and actions. The theme before us, inclusive, equitable, quality education, is not just a guiding principle, it is a national priority. Let me begin with a clear statement. Quality education that is not inclusive and equitable is incomplete. The challenges we face, economic inequality, regional disparities, gender gaps, learning loss, digital exclusion cannot be resolved without deep structural reforms and bold policy commitments. When we say inclusive, equitable, quality education, what do we really mean? To us, it means that every child, every learner, and every dream matters. It means ensuring that no child is left behind because of their gender, disability, social background, or financial condition. It means creating learning spaces that are welcoming, safe, and respectful of diversity. Inclusion is not just about allowing everyone in the classroom. It is about embracing differences and valuing what each learner brings. Equity is not about treating every student the same, but about recognizing that different students need different support to succeed. Quality is not only about passing exams, but about nurturing creativity, curiosity, resilience, and compassion. As educators, students, and leaders, we must work together to build a system that truly prepares learners for life, not just for tests. Today, as we speak about the future of education, let us also recognize the responsibility that comes with it. Inclusive and equitable education is the key to breaking the cycles of poverty, to promoting gender equality, to empowering communities, and to achieving the sustainable development goals. Let us reimagine education as a tool for justice, peace, and hope. I encourage each one of you, whether you are a student, teacher, parent, or policymaker, to ask yourself, what can I do to make the education more inclusive, more fair, and more meaningful? Because education is not just preparation for life, it is life itself. Let me begin with a clear statement. Quality education is not inclusive and equitable is incomplete. Our responsibility is to ensure that every child and youth, regardless of caste, gender, ability, income, or geography, has unbounded access to education from early childhood to higher learning. This means expanding scholarships, hostels, and transportation for rural and tribal students, and ensuring disability-friendly infrastructure in all institutions. Policies must prioritize regional equity with a special support for aspirational districts, border areas, and undeserved urban zones. Equality is not achieved by treating everyone the same, but by ensuring everyone receives that they need to thrive. We must invest in bridging programs, remedial teaching, counseling services, and digital access to disadvantaged students. The National Education Policy 2020 rightly emphasized gender inclusion funds and inclusive curriculum design. This must now translate into robust implementation frameworks and performance metrics. Our quality must be measurable in learning outcomes, employability, research output, and social relevance. We need a data-driven approach to improve learning standards, enhance teacher training, and monitor institutional performance. At the same time, innovation is key for our multilingual digital content to flexible learning pathways via open and distance modes, especially for adult learners and those returning to education. We always request our government of India to go for the GDP is 6%, but we are now being allotted only 2.5. So that only we can fulfill the needs. The whole world, the population is populated countries, China and India. We have 30 crore students at a time. We do not have classroom facilities, ICT tools, enabled classrooms for our students. So that is one of the priorities which we need to address. And further, we do not have much qualified teachers. We have only 20% of the qualified teachers. And so I request the government of India and other governments to invest on teachers, faculty development programs, and develop the teachers. Give 1 year training for every higher education teacher so that we will have a qualified teacher. We may have a good buildings and infrastructure. Without quality teachers, we cannot achieve the quality education. So we need to work like IITs. As government leaders, our mandate is to create policy environments that disseminate systematic barriers, reward inclusive practices, and hold institutions accountable for both access and excellence. The path to inclusive and equitable quality education is not easy, but it is essential for the kind of society we aspire to be. One where opportunity is not determined by birth, but by ability and effort. Let this not be a declaration, but a shared commitment reflected in our budgets, our policies, our regulations, and most importantly, in the lived experiences of our learners. As we align with SDG 4, quality education for all, let us reaffirm our collective responsibility to create a higher education system that is inclusive in its access, equitable in its outcomes, and excellent in its standards. Let this not be a one-day discussion, but a sustained commitment, one policy, one classroom, and one student at a time. Thank you for your attention, and more importantly, for your continued dedication to shaping a more just, educated, and empowered society. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thanks for those valuable insights. And the key takeaway is that in education which is not inclusive and equitable is just incomplete, if not integrated with the SDGs as well. Definitely, sir. With all your blessings, very moving. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you. It's the greatest honor and privilege. Thanks for all those influences. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yes, Dr. RENE Robin. Yes, sir. Please, your screen is loading.
Thank you so much for this wonderful opportunity to share my views on integration of sustainable development goals in higher education institutions. Very happy to be with here, Dr. Viswanathan sir, one of the most powerful
I'm honorary teacher.
Was the Vice Chancellor of Anna University. I had a privilege when I was doing my ME and PhD at Anna University when you were the Vice Chancellor. I was doing my ME, my post-graduation in Computer Science and Engineering. Thank you so much, sir. And today I'm here to share my 5 years of work with respect to how the Sustainable Development Goals can be integrated with the academic curriculum. As a Dean Innovation, I was more particular and focused on integrating Sustainable Development Goals to the academic streams, Higher Education Institute. You know, the that have experience at the institution which I am working, Sairam Engineering College in Sairam Institute of Technology. You know, the lack of entrepreneurship mindset is very lacking in today's student, and bringing entrepreneurial mindset is very, very important. And the major challenge we are facing is to make them to do their engineering projects on their own. And having said, we have proposed a model. I'm here to share the case study, successful case study with you all. Most of the academicians are here in India. This model is not copyrighted. This model can be scaled up to any institutions. So we have developed a competition-based learning model. It is on top of experience-based learning model and project-based learning model. Competition is one which will trigger the mindset of every student. And this model is talking about one student, one startup. The startup, it doesn't mean that making them to start or set up their startup immediately. Even the multinational companies, the recruiters are really requiring their employees with entrepreneurial mindset, especially problem solving, critical thinking, and design thinking. And this model provides all the outcomes which is mentioned in outcome-based education. And it will encourage technology transfer and commercialization. In nowadays, even most of the statutory bodies like NBA, AICTE, NAAC, and NIR have started asking about the tech transfer and commercialization. And this model will definitely give you the more path for technology transfer and commercialization. And this will encourage strong industry engagement. Industry, we don't want interaction, we want collaboration, because the students going to be with us for 3 years or 4 years will be in the industry for the next 40 years. We want real collaboration, and inclusivity is also assured in this model. This model is all about this one. I'm presenting the framework which we have developed. It's a supplementary for education institution for next 10 to 15 years. There is no doubt at all, and we have proved it. And I'm here to present my successful case study. It's startup, but as I mentioned, it's a competition-based learning model. I'll talk about 4 competitions. It starts with Sairam SDG Ideathon, an institution which is honestly supporting and promoting sustainable development goals. So we have named it as Sairam SDG Ideathon for first year, Sairam SDG Salvathon for second year, Sairam SDG Innovathon for third year, and Sairam SDG Inspirathon for final year. And it focused on inclusivity, and every student should be a part of it. Idea engineering is a specific subject curriculum we have designed in development for encouraging students to bring native problems. And for that, we have signed a MOU with State Institute of Rural Development, Panchayat, which is located in Maraimalai Nagar. And all the first year students will get immersion program and field exposure visit, and they will know about their native problems. And we strongly believe that if a problem is originated from village, it will end up at village as a sustainable product. If a problem is originated from industry, it will go to industry. So that is the main focus, will encourage us for technology transfer and commercialization. And this immersion program will be handled by SIRD. 2 full day, the students will be there, and after the immersion program, they will come up with native problems. And no students will originate their problems from any papers, or somebody addressed some issues somewhere, rather than it encourages students to bring their model or the problems from the native. And after this field exposure visit and immersion program, the critical thinking is a part of the curriculum, and idea generation will be categorized into 17 sustainable goals, and the competition will happen, and and each goal the prizes will be awarded for the student. And the second year is Solvathon. Here they do, because it's a big expression is required. I am just briefing the process and framework. Second year, the idea validation will happen. Here it will be narrowed down to one single idea. Whereas in first year they can come up with a number of ideas. Here entrepreneurial education will be 100% entrepreneurial education will be given as a part of their education. So the Vadhwani Foundation is handling our entire process, and they are responsible for validating idea. At the end of the second year, they will come up with business model for the verified idea. And for the first year, we are giving 2 credits. That's what I can claim. It is integration of with curriculum is 100% achieved. First semester 1 credit, second semester 1 credit. And when they come to second year, we have a separate course called Innovative Design Lab for 1 credit in the third semester and 1 credit. So totally providing 2 credits. After the verification idea, the students will come to third year with verify idea. Here they start developing prototyping, and bootcamp and technology transfer will be them to showcase their projects outside the world. So the competition is called Sairam STG Innovathon, and finally most of the students will compare projects at the end of the third year. And what the transfer and setting up of startups. So we even a program as Inspirathon, how they are inspiring the juniors, inspiring the world. So this competition-based learning model, just I have briefed the process. Ideathon, Sairam, any institution, any model, why did we not consider it? Outcome.
Actually, your voice is not properly. It's not continuous, actually.
In the outcome, I haven't published.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. RENE. I think we missed Dr. RENE there. Yeah, sorry. Yes. So,
I'm here. Shall I proceed?
Actually, the video was, the presentation was going, but whatever you spoke, we were not able to hear properly, sir.
Okay.
Because of low bandwidth, I think. Maybe like you can off your video and try again.
Right.
Maybe after some time, if it's okay with you.
Okay, perfectly.
Yeah, sometimes it might pick up at the later stage. Yeah?
Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you from those insightful welcome remarks and the overview. It was really a great pleasure in having those eminent people with us on talking about Education 360, a holistic approach, how to achieve it. And if we're talking about Education 360 as a holistic approach to achieve the 17 SDG goals and how to contribute and how to go about it with definitely with the key objectives of promoting holistic education, integrating SDGs into education, encouraging interdisciplinary learning and developing critical thinking and problem solving skills for students, the green skills for students, thereby contributing to the 17 SDGs, achieving the quality, with a focus on achieving the quality education, that is SDG 4, ensure inclusive and equitable quality education and promoting lifelong learning opportunities for all. So this is the greatest presidency that we are going to address today. On that note, to address this, allow me to welcome before you Dr. Vinod Shukla. Dr. Shukla will start the session as a keynote speaker, and from there we will take over the pointers of the delegation. Thank you so much. Dr. Shukla ji, please, with your keynote address on ensure inclusive, equitable quality education, which will promote lifelong learning opportunities for all. Thank you, sir. Over to you.
Thank you so much. The topic which has been selected is quite wide. And I think as the seniors who are available into this forum, they are also agree we can talk endlessly on this thing, because the way economical diversification across the globe is there, that also defines how the education is there in the between the cities and countries. Allow me to share my the screen. Is it visible, ma'am?
It is loading. We are able to view the screen. Maybe you need to go on to the presentation mode. Yes, it's quite visible and you're quite audible. Please go ahead. So thank you.
Thank you so much. Allow me to start with a few facts which I have collected today via internet. And inclusiveness is one of the key words which we are continuously hearing. There is something which is known as inclusiveness in 2025 by the Ministry of Higher Education in United Arab Emirates. It is also a mandate. This should be the part of the each curriculum, irrespective of a student belong to which branch. It is number one. Number two, if you look at the sustainability, if you look at the artificial intelligence, if you look at the data analysis or data analytics, again, I will quote Ministry of Higher Education, 2023 Circular, United Arab Emirates. Again, it was a nice initiative that Ministry has given a mandate very clearly. Artificial intelligence, data analytics should be the part of each and every program. So what I'm trying to say, it is not limited to computer science. It is not limited to business intelligence and information technology. This should be the cup of tea for everybody, because artificial intelligence is actually impacting everyone. So let me start with a few facts, and we are able to see like approximately 251 million children they are there who are eligible to go to school. And out of them, roughly 33%, they belong to the low-income countries. There is a huge gender gap of 48%. And language barrier is one of the biggest problem, I will say. Like the global population lack education in the native language. Majority of the time, the language is international accepted language, that is English. But it is also a reality, like the cities and the rural area, it is difficult to impart all the education into international accepted language, which is English. I will give 2 or 3 successful examples what Government of India way back they have started. NPTEL, which is a very famous brand now, initiated by Ministry of Education back in India, and all the IITs have clubbed and they have started this forum. And the idea was to address the keyword, which is inclusiveness. How we can include everybody who is into the village or into the remote area. So NPTEL is a kind of a forum where you can log in and you are able to get the knowledge from the person who is attributed as IIT and IIMs. If you look at the small comparison between the school and higher education, you will see the economical barrier. Economical barrier means the fees sometimes is quite high. It is very difficult for a person like lower middle class family or a person who belong to the remote area to join those higher education. So again, I'm quoting this online education e-learning platform, in particularly YouTube, in particularly NPTEL, in particularly majority of the highly reputed international universities. I will use the word Amity, I will use the word IT, I will use the word Harvard. Everybody, they have started online education. And one of the key area for key reason for starting the online education is to include everybody and everyone so that the education can reach to everybody. Infrastructure gap, limited higher education institutions restrict the opportunity in unreserved region worldwide. So it is not like everywhere you will find the good universities. Majority of the time, the cities which are developed, the countries which are developed, you will find the good universities and the good learning resources are available only on those parts. Socio-cultural factors, gender norms, we have already seen. It start from the school and it is impacting all the kind of education. Conflict impact, political instability. Like I don't want to take in particular name of, like we have seen the last 3 to 4 years. In certain part of the world between the two countries, the war is going on. And because of this war also, there is sometimes though, but this instability which create it automatically impact the market, it automatically impact the stock market and also impact hugely the education system also. So that is also one of the reason which is like Srividhya was quoting in the beginning, like the peace is very, very important. So if peace is also one of the factor which ask us to move forward into the field of education. If I look this entire education system, according to me, the pillar of sustainable competence, which I will address, it will be like integration competence, like how I'm going to impart the education across all the disciplines. So like artificial intelligence and data analytics, how to make sure a BBA student, how to make sure a film and television student, how to make sure an economic student, the student who belongs to the field of economics, or everybody is going to get this thing. Implementation and strategy. So basically policy making is one part. Again, like the previous speaker, like he mentioned very nicely, like how the implementation on each year they have implemented, how the first year, what first year is going to do, how second year is going to do, how third year is going to do, and how they have collaborated between the different NGOs and industry. And it is not only the collaboration between the local industry partner, when they go for the visit, what exactly they are going on the visit and how it is going to evaluate it. So it is not a paper kind of a thing. The work, what the students are going to do onto the action plan, it is measurable and is reflected into their grade sheet. Similarly, majority of the university, they also have a different kind of a framework to address this kind of thing. Here in Amity University, we also have something which is known as a human value community outreach. So these are the labeling, these are the credit names, but at the end of the day, all the universities are aiming for something, how to make it possible that the student is the part of the society. He or she is not only limited to the classroom, he is getting the enough exposure for the industry and society so that he can start feeling and working on the word which is we are discussing here, inclusiveness. Interpersonal and intrapersonal, building the relationship and the self-awareness, system thinking foundation, like how exactly how to understanding the complex interconnections. If I look at the entire policy, there was a keyword which was used like a lifelong learning. So lifelong learning, for example, I have completed my PhD long back, I master's long back, but after completing and joining the industry or joining the education sector, there is a continuous requirement I'm going to do on the continuous upskilling. So when I have completed my graduation, artificial intelligence was something which was just coming up as a discussion. And now when I'm working into the education sector, artificial intelligence models, learning models, they are available and we are using this into almost all areas. So if I'm not able to learn it properly, it is difficult. I means the educator, I means the instructor, I means the trainer. So basically, if a teacher, if a faculty, if an instructor is not going to continuously upgrade himself or herself, it is very difficult for a person to how he is going to take back into the classes. Point number 2, policy innovation. So organization for economic cooperation and development framework and how it is going to connect with the future ready system. Personal resilience, individual growth as it impact directly with the societal strength, and system adaptation. Education evolving with the changing needs. That is what the example recently I have taken. And we all are discussing about artificial intelligence and data analytics. So when you talk about the strategies to meet changing need and reduce future inequalities, inequality is something again we are discussing a lot, which is like how to look on the holistic, means complete 360 development. Global competence across all the skill areas. So it is not limited to a particular region or particular city. So how exactly we are going to make ready the workforce which is globally deployable? Cross-sector collaboration, partnership ensuring the equitable access, like the example the previous speaker has taken, and majority of the university, like here in Amity University, we have a very strong partnership with the local market. And that enables the student to visit the industry and to understand, okay, how exactly my learning is going to work in future. Gap analysis, identifying the digital and the green skill deficits, target solution, addressing socio-economic learning needs. Transforming education for the SDG 4.0, equitable quality for all. Inclusive access, which we are trying to achieve. We all are trying to achieve collectively. So quality education reaching every learner worldwide, and majority of the government have taken the initiative so that everybody who is not very financially strong enough to subscribe for the good education can also get the education with the help of a digital platform. That is what exactly inclusive access majority of the government and countries are going to do. And all the leading universities are also joining hand with the government, and they are making it sure it is reaching to the people who are needy and who cannot access because of the financial constraint. Equity focus, addressing gender, geographical and economical barriers. We had a discussion on this thing. Global standard, curriculum agreement, alignment, and digital inclusion initiative. So majority of the time you have seen, like all the universities, they have a different framework of accreditation and affiliations. So these accreditation and affiliations, basically, they make sure the education what university and school system are providing, they are at the global standard. So it is not like a person who received the education into a country A is not able to qualify or not able to work into country B. So basically, these global standards are very important moving forward, and I think they should be implemented strongly into the system or digital system as well. Systematic change, transforming the entire education ecosystem on the parameter of inclusiveness, on the parameter of reskill for the future green skill education. So environmental literacy, integration of sustainable knowledge across curriculum, building foundation for green career pathways. And if I'm not mistaken, because I'm a student of engineering, if I'm not mistaken, this particular environmental literacy is the part of all the UG program in the first year, irrespective of any particular university, irrespective of any particular country. Majority of the time you will see environmental literacy has been kept in the first year as a 1 or 2 credit to make the student sensitive about this thing. Market preparation, preparing the student for sustainable labor market, real world application, and environmental sciences. So business is a different vertical. Let us not talk about the business, but on ensuring the policy, on ensuring the guideline at the education sector, when we are preparing the student, we means university. We are taking care of almost all the parameters which are needed for the sustainable labor market. So when it goes on the business, it's a huge responsibility of the industry also to welcome those practices and implement in order to make sure the environmental sciences applications of environmental sciences are addressed. Project-based learning, hands-on sustainable learning modules, the students solving actual environmental challenge. Majority of the time, the idea is how the two different disciplines of a student are going to join hand and addressing something which is sustainable related learning modules. For example, a student from film and television, journalism, mechanical engineering, maybe at the electrical engineering, how they all are coming together and joining hand for something which is project-based learning and addressing this challenge. Bridging the digital skill employability gap. According to me, mismatch between the digital education and job market need. With the skill taught, they don't align with the industry requirement. So industry is looking something else. There has been always a gap. I believe there will be always a gap. We can narrow down. It will be difficult to eliminate completely. And both are the complement for each other. The industry depends on universities, and university also look for the feedback from the industry. So what we can do, we can minimize this particular gap to address those particular tools, those particular education, which is directly deployable in the market, which is directly deployable in the industry. Industry partnership, collaborative curricular development with employer, real-time feedback on the skill relevance. So I will give you a few examples. These examples are not new. These examples are followed by majority of the university. For example, here also, when we design any particular program, in each program, there is a feedback, there is a strong partnership in the program for the curriculum development. For example, if we are working on cybersecurity, we take the direct feedback from the industry leader who are very strong on the product of cybersecurity. And these are the industry people who are helping us also to give their input for designing the curriculum development on that particular area. So that is one of the example. Likewise, many examples can be taken. Essential competence, coding, data literacy, cybersecurity focus, future proof of skill for digital economy. And believe me, these few words, they should be known to everybody. This should not be the case. Okay, you are not the student of computer science, you are not the student of engineering, so this is not for you. These are the skills which are needed by everybody, irrespective of what category of education and business you belong to. Digital financial education and strategy, digital platform, accessible financial education via mobile technology, and NPTEL in particularly in India has been huge success for this thing. Future ready skill, financial literacy as an essential competency. Inclusion policy, closing digital financial gaps. And one more thing, the self-financial management, I think this is This should be included into all the schools. Not in the school, then particularly this must be included into the higher education. Because at the end of the day, when the student complete the degree and going to the business or into the market, he or she, if he don't know how to manage the self-finance, it is difficult for a person to move further. So this financial education is also very key for any particular program to include, maybe as a 1 or 2 credit. Innovation in satellite education. So we all know by now this, like currently it's the current forum, the Zoom forum organized by Ms. Srividhya is one of the classic example. Various part of the people from the different country, they are connected and we are talking at the same time. We all in this forum are from a different time zone. We all belong to the different countries, but we are able to share the idea. Likewise, all the students who want to study, if they belong to the various remote areas, they can easily connect with the help of mobile technology. And any infrastructure of a university which is compatible with the mobile platforms, if that particular education is ready, it will be a revolution kind of a thing in the education, which is happening, but still a lot more work need to be done. Moving forward, according to me, I will summarize only on 3 points. Number 1, according to me, should be the policy integration. Recommendation for the future ready education system. A lot need to be done by the government, a lot need to be done by the universities, and a lot need to be done as an individual like us, like me, like everybody in this forum. Scaling innovation, blending sustainability, equity, and technological advancement. It is needed, and it is needed continuously. Collaborative actions, government, industry, and academia. Like it is not isolation. Like the universities are self-capable to do all the things. No, they always need the support from the government and university. Likewise, the government and the industry also. So if they work together, like we try to do in all the universities, in Amity University, Dubai, and all the other branches of Amity University, we have a strong connection with the industry and government, only to ensure what we are delivering to the student, it is something he or she can use when after the completing the degree. That is all from my side. If any question is there, I will be more happy to address.
Thank you, Dr. Vinod Shukla. That was really a quite comprehensive, very insightful. I think you have covered almost all the pointers of discussion for today, definitely. And as you rightly mentioned very clearly, precisely, that is education is the passport to the future for those who are going to think about it today. That's what is the thing. For tomorrow, those who are preparing for it today. So thanks for joining us in making this dream a reality, opening the doors, windows and channels to just create it. Thereby, we don't just dream, but we create our own destiny. Thank you, sir. Yes. Thanks for all those.
With your permission, Ms. Srividhya, first of all, I'm very thankful to you. I don't know how you are managing, but you are continuously busy. You are contributing a lot. I have seen you into the multiple forum. Every time you select a topic, they are very societal, impactful topic, and they are impacting the society directly. Like currently today, Education 4.0. We are fortunate enough, by the grace of God, we are living into a city or country at the level that we are blessed with all the facilities. But the kind of topic you have taken, this is needed because majority of the student, they are not able to get this kind of facility. And this topic, with the help of mobile platform, it is possible this can be done. And with your permission, I would like to welcome all the delegates who are into this forum to Amity University, Dubai for any kind of a collaboration. We are ready to do. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Yes, sir. So that was a very quintessential presentation indeed on the topic, on the presidency especially, to ensure inclusive, equitable quality education that will promote lifelong learning opportunities for all. Yes, definitely. It's a very crucial aspect of the United Nations Sustainable Developmental Goals, especially with the focus of the Sustainable Developmental Goal 4 and with key objectives to ensure that inclusive and quality education will definitely provide lifelong opportunities with the fostering of the culture that Sir was mentioning, with continuous learning processes that will enable the individuals to acquire new skills, knowledge, competencies throughout their life. So it is not only with the school, it is not only with the higher education, but throughout their life. Very good, sir. Thank you so much. As he started focusing on the problems, highlighting the problems, millions of children are out of school. despite the progress in school enrollment. We do agree with you, sir. Millions of students are remain outside the school, especially in some continents like Africa, Southern Asia. We have to really accept the fact that the education system struggle to keep with the population growth and with the lack of amenities and the facilities. Even it's not only a lack of adequate facilities or the infrastructure, even lack of trained teachers, as Sir was mentioning, definitely. So we need to train them, provide them with basic amenities of life like electricity, drinking water, sanitation facilities, as Sir was mentioning, satellite education through TV or radio. That will really help these children who are in the most downtrodden, and we call them as within the quotes of vulnerable. So we will try to make it possible reach those accord as such. With the disparities, any kind of disparity that you take with the poverty, gender inequality, and the location, exactly whatever thing, let's break all these barriers and make things happen. So that's what we are heading to or lining up through. With definitely with the strategies of improving access to quality education, enhancing teacher training and capacity building, building inclusive, equitable learning environment and the infrastructure for all the students, irrespective of their living environment, we will definitely be able to achieve our dream of getting them as empowered individuals with providing sustainable quality education for all, irrespective of the socio-economic and environmental threats that they're having, but we will ensure for the economic, social, and environmental well-being. Thank you so much. Thank you, sir. Thanks for all those dignitaries who have joined us on this stage. Definitely we'll come back to Dr. RENE one more time, definitely, sometime before we end up. So moving ahead. So we are not only with only the dignitaries, but we are joined with eminent speakers who have joined us on this stage. So with us, with the pointers of deliberations are as follows. As such, towards a more sustainable competence education model for future will be deliberated by Dr. Elena Boswick. Thank you, ma'am. Thanks for joining us. Digital financial education strategies is left open to the floor. Anybody can pick it up, anyone who is interested. Lifelong learning and education policies will be addressed by Ambassador Safal Dunguna from India. Getting into schools, looking for indicators for integration will be addressed by Reverend Godfrey Beamuka from Africa. Reskilling students for future work, the green skills education will be addressed by Ms. Mona Savan, Dr. Ishrat Mirzana, and Mr. Amos Bukka, and Dr. G.P. Sudha. Thanks, ma'am. Thanks for joining us. Thanks, everyone, for joining us. Bridging the gap between digital skills and employability will be addressed by Dr. Arjun Qureshi. Thank you, ma'am. Dr. Vasanthi Reena Williams. Thank you, ma'am. And Dr. J. Arulki. Strategies to meet the changing ends and mitigate future inequalities. That's talking about satellite education will be addressed by Dr. George. Cooperating on the improvement and expansion of the tertiary education to make leaving no one behind, which is the reality in the education that we are heading to, with technical and vocational training for the digital age, thereby transforming education towards equitable quality education will be addressed by Dr. Anurag Agnihotri, thereby summing it up with the social ecosystem model, a new paradigm for the skills development will be addressed by Dr. Charles Saboria. And we will be joined by Dr. L. Shanavastam for the closing remarks as well. So on that note, we are joined with two more moderators who are joined with me on this stage, on this dais. Dr. Tanuja Balasundram, thank you, ma'am. Thanks for joining us. And Dr. Mamta Chawla, thank you, ma'am. Thanks for joining us. They will be moderating the speakers as and when required. And also, like our host for today will be Sri Krisha. Sri Krisha, welcome. And we extend a warm welcome to all the speakers. Over to you, Sri Krisha, to welcome the speakers one after the other. And on that note, may I request Dr. Gokul? Dr. Gokul from IGEN. Sir, I see you here. A warm welcome to you. Would you like to say a few words before we move on, Dr. Gokul? Okay, I think we'll be joining late. And over to Sri Krisha. Please. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Krisha, currently pursuing my Bachelor of Engineering in Cybersecurity at Sri Sairam Engineering College. Today, I'll be the host for this particular deliberations. Now, it's true privilege to welcome Dr. Elena Baskov, a highly respected genetist and esteemed university professor. With decades of contribution to science and education, her work has been published in numerous encyclopedias and monographs in the Republic of Siberia and internationally. A recipient of 3 honorary doctorates and multiple accolades for her outstanding service to higher education and scientific advancement, she continues to inspire generations. She will now speak on towards a more sustainable competence educational model for the future of the new paradigm of modern higher education and future trends, development of universities, focusing on inclusivity, personalized learning, and how universities must adapt to meet global challenges. We now invite you to take over and share our valuable insights, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Good morning, good day, good evening. Respected dear Srividhya Sukumar, ladies and gentlemen, scientists, university professors, experts, students, business people, etc. I owe special thanks for the invitation, Dr. Srividhya Sukumar, to the guest speaker, and I send in the word regards and the organizer of this important to deliberate on topic education 316 educated goal leading to one planet. Dear colleagues, I address this sentence to Our Excellency Dr. Srividhya Sukumar. Knowledge is power, say the great English philosopher statesman and essayist Francis Bacon. And get the climate that true knowledge is a strength. Having so much knowledge for every topic that the lectures talk about is an art of intelligence, broad education and creativity. Thank you very much for allowing us to learn from you. Topic today: the future of the new paradigm of modern higher education and future trend development universities. Scholarly discussion about the future and the new paradigm on education are in response to global change and technological advance. The new paradigm emphasizes inclusivity, the use of technologies, and personalizing learning. The research objectives are: 1. To analyze how the new educational paradigm faces global change and technology. 2. To identify the impact of inclusivity on students and learning experience. 3. To explore how the use of technology enrich techniques and methods. 4. Discover the importance of personalizing learning in improving student outcomes. 5. To understanding the relationship between adaptability, education relevance, and future challenge. The research methodology used in the study include literature, review, and content analysis. And comprehensive literature review was conducted to gather insight from scholarly research papers, books, and especially papers related to the development of the educational process, including technology adoption, student-centered approaches, and progress toward personalized learning. As a long-time university professor and scholar, I currently study and analyze which relevant sources, seeking expert perspectives, current trend, and significant finding related to the new educational paradigm. The information collected was sorted and organized through content analysis. Relevant data was identified, categorized, and expertly analyzed. The research results react the new education paradigm is a highly relevant response to global change and technological advancement. Furthermore, inclusive serves as the foundation of this approach, ensuring that education research every individual and supports them to development according to their cognitive potential. In addition, the careful use of technology has enabled more interactive, personalized, and adaptive learning experience. The role of personalizing play a key role in providing education. Tailored to unique needs of each student, therapy enabling them to achieve optimal learning outcome and a complete body of knowledge. The importance of adaptability and reliance of education for future challenges in emphasize life learning and student readiness for inevitable change in a dynamic global environment. The research results strongly confirm that education must effectively prepare individuals with skills, knowledge, and mindset acceptable for future professional demands. This new educational paradigm serves as a campus guiding the path toward an inclusive, adaptive, and relevant education system in the face of contemporary change. Education has long been the backbone of social progress and individual development. However, in era with numerous global challenges and rapid technological changes, education must manage complex changes and find new years to address future challenges. In the face of this situation, a new paradigm in education is becoming increasingly important in creating an innovation and adaptive education system. This scientific discussion aims to explore the new paradigm in education, which will serve as fundamental of the development of a full competitive and responsive education system that adapt to the dynamic of time. The primary focus of the research is on how to face global transformation and pedagogical methods to integrate technology into learning process. The objective of the research are to identify usable strategies for using technology innovation to improve the quality of education and exploring inclusive approach to ensure equitability of opportunity for every individual or receive quality education. The significance of this much research lead into the contribution to the development, adaptive, creative, and future-oriented education. This new paradigm is expected to open up new opportunity for students to fully develop their potential and the ability to face the challenge of global world. In the search for multiple solutions, the theories used in the research include the concept of personalized learning, where each individual is recognized as a unique entity with different learning style and need. Furthermore, the use of technology in the learning process will be supported by contemporary learning theories to emphasize use of digital response, digital resources to facilitate interactive and draining learning. By understanding the problem at hand, setting research objective, and basing the research on relevant theories. These are scientific contributions that seeks to make a significant contribution to guiding education toward a better future with much hope improving knowledge and skills. The significance of this research is crucial because it is expected to contribute to the development of education that is aligned with future needs, creative and adaptable. This new paradigm is expected to create new opportunities for students to fully explore their potential and prepare to face challenge in the global market. Several aspects need to be considered in moving toward the future of education, including technology, inclusivity, personalized learning, 21st century skills, flexibility curriculum, holistic evaluation and assessment, new paradigm of education. The new paradigm of education infer a fundamental change in perspective, strategy, and approach in the education process. This new paradigm emerges in response to social, technological, economic change and intersecting complex needs of students in modern era. According to the same much authors, scientists, and university professors, several characteristics of new education paradigm include inclusivity, personal learning, technology in learning, holistic education, 21st century, project-based education. Project-based learning is used to connect and protect the subject related to related professional, allowing students to apply their knowledge to real-life situation. Formative assessment, evaluation, focus on formative assessment, where teacher providing continued feedback help students understanding their progress and identify areas for improvement. New education seeks to bring about positive change in education, providing inspiring learning experience to help students reach their maximum potential. Very interesting, today, 21st century global change education. The author, Salman Khan, conclude global change in education, technology learning, 21st century skills, inclusive education, complexity-based curriculum, learning, etc. In the face of this rapid complex change, it's important to constantly up-to-date strategy, curricula, and approach education better, respond, challenge opportunity. Inclusive education, there are several characteristics in inclusive education, is much research program to scientists and experts education, and university professor period is very intensive, much work, adapted education system in business profile student is not market product. Student is a think man in different situation. Thank you very much. Dear colleague, thank you very much for attention. Education system is very interesting, especially development human population in the world. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Elena. Thank you so much. It was very kind of you. Thanks for addressing all those challenges on towards a more sustainable competent education model. Thank you. May I request Dr. Panuja to give a summary for Dr. Elena? Then I will. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you, Dr. Selina, for extensive talk on the pointer towards a more sustainable, competent competence education model for the future. You have addressed about the new paradigm driven by global changes and the technologies, and also you insist about the lifelong learning and adaptability. And really, it's a wonderful talk. And also, you addressed about the shift readiness, modern universities as adaptive and student-centric institutions, and that has to be ready for tomorrow's demands. So, wonderful talk. Thank you, Dr. Zalina.
Thank you, Dr.
Thank you very much for discussion. Especially interesting future global change in education, values significant change are taking place around the world in the context of education. Global changes students, especially university professors. Problem our change education process in the world. University professors, much work.
Yes.
So thank you very much for discussion, Professor.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Elena. Well, that was a very important pointer for today's discussion towards a more sustainable competence education model for the future. And thanks for your valuable insights of bringing in a sustainable competence education model, which will prioritize the development of skills, knowledge, and attitude that will enable the individuals to contribute for a more sustainable and equitable future in terms of systems thinking, critical thinking, creativity and innovation, collaboration and communication, adaptability and resilience. As one of our chief guest was also mentioning all these pointers, definitely. So when we talk about sustainability focused education, to integrate sustainability into the curricula, how to do that with embedded sustainability concepts and principles into education programs, and with interdisciplinary approaches to foster collaboration with multidisciplinary approaches, as otherwise it is called as cross-curricular learning, with a real-world application relating education to life and nature, with the emphasis not compromising on the values and the ethics, will develop the learners towards a more sustainable and with social responsibility as well. Thank you so much by adopting this. Definitely a sustainable competence education model. We can empower the learners to contribute more to a sustainable and equitable futures, addressing the complex challenges facing that our world is facing. On that note, may I request, thank you, ma'am. Thanks for joining our forum. Definitely, it's always a pleasure having you, and thanks for all the bigger support that you are delivering to us, you are giving to us with your presence as such. Thank you. So, on that note, may we request the next speaker who is going to address on lifelong learning and education policies. Thank you. Over to Ms. Krishna. Thank you.
A warm welcome.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am. A warm welcome to Ambassador Safal Dungana, a dynamic global youth leader, international volunteer, peace advocate, and a global speaker. With passion for technology, innovation, and social impact, he has inspired many through his roles as a trainer, community builder, and education advocate across the world. He will now speak on lifelong learning and education policies, highlighting how inclusive, flexible, and creative education systems can empower individuals to adapt, grow, and lead in a rapidly changing world. The stage is yours, sir.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Good evening to everyone present here. Respected Chief Guest, Professor Dr. Viswanathan Dorai, sir. Guest of honor, Dr. C.R. RENE Robin. Esteemed dignitaries, fellow speakers, respected educators, researchers, and global change makers. I would like to take a moment to express my sincere and heartfelt gratitude to Srividhya Sukumar ma'am for giving me the valuable opportunity. Her unwavering support and dedication to empowering young voices in education and sustainability is deeply inspiring. Thank you, ma'am, for believing in me and so many others. It is with great humility and deep gratitude that I, Safal Dungana, stand before you today to share my thoughts on a subject that is not just close to my heart, but essential to the very future of our planet, lifelong learning and education policies. I would like to begin by sincerely thanking EduGate Global, our respected community partners and all organizing institutions for giving me this remarkable opportunity to speak at this prestigious G20 International One Planet Cabinet 2025 platform. Education is not an event, it is a journey. a lifelong journey. In today's rapidly changing world, learning cannot and must not end with formal schooling. The concept of lifelong learning is the key that unlocks not only personal and professional growth, but also social equity and sustainability and innovation. We are here under the theme Education 360, educate all goals leading to one planet. And lifelong learning sites at the very heart of this vision. It is the bridge between inclusion and innovation, between early childhood learning and adult reskilling, between local relevance and global responsibility. Allow me to ask a simple question. Can we expect the knowledge and skill we acquire in school or university to last a lifetime in a world that is changing every year, every month, sometimes even every day? The answer is no. Technological advancements, environmental challenges, economic shifts, and global health crises have made it clear. If we stop learning, we fall behind. Lifelong learning empowers individuals to stay relevant in a constantly evolving job market, adapt to new technologies and systems, engage in informed decision-making, contribute meaningfully to society and democracy, improve mental well-being and personal fulfillment. It is not a luxury, it is a necessity for everyone. Designing education policies that promote lifelong learning requires vision, empathy, and usefulness. Here are a few guiding principles I believe are critical. 1. Accessibility. Learning must be available to all, regardless of age, gender, socioeconomic status, or geography. 2. Flexibility. Policies must support part-time, online, hybrid, and modular learning pathways that respect the lives and responsibilities of adult learners. 3. Cost effectiveness. Cost should never be a barrier. Scholarships, government subsidies, and public-private partnerships can make continuous learning accessible. 4. Recognition of informal learning. Skills are gained through life experience. Community service or work should be validated and recognized through micro-credential or portfolio assessments. 5. Digital inclusivity. In an increasingly digital world, bridging the digital divide is essential. We need national and global strategies to ensure everyone has access to digital tools and literacy. Despite the progress, there are challenges. Many policies still focus on early education and overlook adult learning. Rural and underprivileged communities often lack the infrastructure for continued learning. This is a stigma attached to adult education, especially in certain cultures. Lifelong learning is not always aligned with market demand, leading to skill mismatches. These are real gaps, and they call for real, committed global cooperation. In my humble capacity as a student and emerging researcher, I would like to suggest a few practical steps that we can take globally and locally. Number 1, integrate lifelong learning in national curriculums. Teach students early about the importance of ongoing learning. 2, establish community learning centers, local hubs offering short courses, digital literacy, and soft skills for all age groups. Number 3, public awareness campaign. Normalize and celebrate adult education. Remove the stigma. Number 4, partner with industry. Co-create programs that prepare learners for future jobs, green skills, and entrepreneurship. Number 5, global knowledge sharing. Platforms like this G20 cabinet are perfect for sharing policies, resources, and success stories. Let's build a global collection of lifelong learning initiatives. Moreover, lifelong learning is a powerful tool for fostering global citizenship. It encourages critical thinking, intercultural understanding, and civic responsibility. When individuals continuously educate themselves, they become more aware of the world challenges, climate change, inequality, digital disruption, and more prepared to contribute to sustainable solutions. This is how we transform education from a personal achievement into a collective force for good. This is how we move from isolated learning to a shared mission for a better, more united planet. In conclusion, lifelong learning is not just about acquiring skills. It is about empowering people to be the author of their own future. It is about building resilient societies that can withstand change with confidence and compassion. And most importantly, it is about making education a continuous right, not a one-time privilege. Let us work together across borders, across institutions, and across generations to ensure that no one ever stops learning and that our planet never stops growing in knowledge, empathy, and understanding. Once again, I thank you all for this honorable platform. Thank you to the organizers, mentors, fellow delegates, and everyone who believes in the power of education. Let us all be lifelong learners and lifelong educators. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Safal. Thank you so much. That was a wonderful deliberation indeed. Tanujama, would you like to add on? Then I will take it up from you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Well, on that mention of lifelong learning and education policies that are essential definitely for promoting the continuous learning and skill development through the individual's life, as he was quite comprehensively mentioning about that how policies can help individuals adapt that changing labor markets, technological advancements, and also the societal needs. So the key objectives or the key focus will be on promoting lifelong learning, which will encourage the individuals to engage in continuous learning and skill development through with knowledge sharing platforms and everything. That will foster a culture of learning that will really recognize the importance of education and training, with providing opportunities for individuals to develop the new skills and competencies. And also, as a policy maker, there was a request to all the policy makers and the decision makers that invest in education and training programs that will promote this lifelong process. As such, also it will create the learning opportunity for the individuals by working in collaboration, and also like not compromising on the innovation part of it with offline resources as well, recognizing the prioritizing learning and experience, allowing the individuals to build on their existing skills and knowledge, and thereby working with all education institutions, governments, non-governments, organizations, and also other stakeholders, such that this becomes a continuous learning process with increased employability, increased productivity, and also personal growth and development. So that's what is a quintessence of all those. The main thing when it comes to the process of implementation, we need to develop national policies that will integrate this lifelong learning and process with and also establish funding mechanisms for supporting these opportunities, and also to monitor and evaluate the process with proper programs and also procedures that are involved in it to adapt to the changing circumstances that will thrive in an increasingly complex and interconnected world. Thank you, Mr. Safal. That was quite comprehensive indeed. On that note, may we request our next set of speakers who are here to deliberate more on the following. As such, I think we will invite Dr. Eshwar, ma'am, to talk more about reskilling students for the future work. Yes, over to Ms. Krisha. Thank you, ma'am.
A warm welcome to Dr. Ishrat Meera Mirzana, Professor of Mechanical Engineering at Mufakam College of Engineering and Technology, Hyderabad. With over 2 decades of academic and research experience, she is a recognized expert in functionally graded materials and a passionate leader in engineering, education, innovation, and sustainability. Today, ma'am will speak on reskilling students for the future work, green skills in education, emphasizing the urgent need for integrating emerging technologies with core engineering principles to prepare students for a sustainable future. Dr. Ishrat, the virtual stage is yours, ma'am.
Thank you, Krishna, for the kind words.
Thank you, ma'am. I would request Tanuja ma'am to do the summary for Dr. Ishrat, ma'am. Yeah, sure. Thank you. Please go ahead, ma'am. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. I hope the screen is visible.
Yeah.
And I'm audible. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. You are. Your screen is quite visible. You can go ahead, ma'am. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you for this opportunity to Srividhya ma'am, because it's a great opportunity to speak on this platform. So my topic is about reskilling students for future work, green skills in education. Now, before we proceed with the topic, first of all, I would like to focus why we need to focus on green skills, because there is a rise of green economy. The market size, which was about 10.3 trillion in 2022, will be rising to 120.4 trillion by 2027. That means there will be a growth of 64%, more than 64% or 65%. And there will be corporate investment also, because the companies have to plan for sustainability. So thereby the avenues will be more and more towards green future and green tech. So there is a lot of green economy that is there. So for this one, the green skills are vital, because for the 21st century workforce, students must be having this sustainable economy, should be ready for this sustainable economy. The education systems should be evolving to meet the environmental challenges and build competences for a green transition across industries. Now, every industry has to go ahead with ESG plans. So for ESG, there's a lot of demand. And these green jobs, there are a lot of avenues that are there. And the green skills will encompass the knowledge and abilities required to support environmental sustainabilities, including areas of renewable energy, energy efficiencies, and waste reduction. Because when we talk about sustainability, when we are talking about greener technologies, nowadays the buzzword is going for the EV technology, that it is electric vehicles. So when we are talking about electric vehicles, the battery life is 5 years. So there is an e-waste that is being generated. So how to compensate for that is also a problem statement, and how that can be handled with the green skills will be a challenge for the future generations. And sustainable agriculture. As the demand for green jobs grow, educational systems must adapt to equip students with these competencies. So it's important our role should increase. The current state is 64% of the educators are supporting sustainability integration in curriculum. But 23% educators are feeling prepared to teach green skills. So there is a lot of gap even at the teaching end. So because we are having a limitation of availability of specialized green skills program, if we have this green skills programs, then we'll have green jobs. So there's a lot of gap which needs to be filled up. So this is where we are all together on this platform, so that the 360 degrees can be met. So the core meaning is skills for environmentally sustainable practices and solutions should be there. So we need to have renewable energy with environmental management and resource efficiency. And with respect to it, we have to emerge from the traditional green jobs. There should be jobs which will be green jobs, should be supported with AI, IoT, all the advanced emerging technologies. Thereby, sustainability can be achieved. For this one, we need to have combined knowledge, abilities. It's not just the technical knowledge that needs to be. One phase is, it's with respect to it, you need to have technical skills, but also the values and attitude for the sustainability. Because if you're not having the ethical values to have the feeling towards Mother Earth, then you will not be able to work towards it. So the technical and behavioral include both environmental expertise and essential behavioral skills. So the sustainability is not just about technical skills, but about the human being, how you have the zeal and passion towards environment. And this is possible only when you have a transdisciplinary. We have to go beyond environment to include the social and economic angles. So if you want to implement any project, it's about the community involvement. So every community is unique in its own way. So the environmental engineer is not the only person who has to handle it, but has to understand what is the social status, what is the economic sustainability, how long that can be there, technologies. All these are the skills which one should develop during the green skills. So the green skills are the knowledge and adapt, and as the industry adapt to greener practices from construction to manufacturing, transport to energy, students must be prepared to fill the new and evolving roles. The International Labour Organization estimates that 24 million new green jobs could be created globally by 2030 if the right policies and training programs are implemented. So it is important that the environmental awareness, sustainable agriculture, all the principles, economic, circular economy principles should be taught. Climate resistant, resilient infrastructure development should be a part of the curriculum. And what is the benefit of integrating these green skills is the students will be for high demand, and there is innovation that will be boosted. It will be encouraging them for the problem solving for sustainability challenges. And main important thing is they foster the responsibility for planet care. And why this is mattering is the rising demand. And there is a job transformation that is occurring. Along with it, we also are under ecological pressures. Workforce must be ready for environmental solutions because we can see there are many things happening across the globe, sudden changes that are occurring. So with respect to the green skills matters a lot. So for this one, what are the practical strategies are? The curriculum integration, business partnerships and hands-on projects. Because hands-on project engages students in real-world sustainability efforts. This is where we talk about experiential learning, self-learning. So this is what they'll understand what is real world is about. So with respect to it, educational programs are incorporating sustainability and renewable energy topics to prepare a workforce capable of supporting a greener future. There should be climate literacy in K-12. It should be ensuring the students about environmental challenges and solutions from an early age. It's not that you will have it only in higher education, but in school education also it should be included. And those who have not had an exposure can also be included in higher education and MOOCs. Projects like Future Forests offer massive open online courses focused on environmental skills, receiving positive feedback, but they're interactive and experiential learning approaches. So these MOOCs programs are the ones which can be taken up by the working professionals also. So the education approaches should be integrated curriculum which focuses about sustainability across all subjects. It's not that a separate environmental subject is there, then you are focusing on that. Every subject has to be included with sustainability. Because when we are talking about any manufacturing, we should not go for the direct product development. This is where we try to go for the simulation process. Sustainability is one which is projected at that stage. Project-based learning. Students tackle real environmental challenges. Though the problem may be same, but based upon the socio-economic conditions, the type of solution that has to be provided varies. So this is where the skills of critical thinking will come into picture. And community partnerships. That's it. Hands-on sustainability experiences in real-world settings will be possible. System thinking. Develop core competencies to manage complexities. It's not just about the people, but also socio-political, everything they'll understand how to handle the situations. So critical thinking, adaptive learning. With respect to the situation, they have to adapt. Technical skills, collaboration, data literacy. This is where our data analytics will come into picture. Gen AI will come into picture. Not just AI, Gen AI will come into picture. IoT, all this is important. So for this one, the implementation strategy should be, there should be a teacher training, develop sustainable expertise in educators, because we can see that from the stats only 23% are having that exposure. Certification updates, align credentials with green skills demands, industry partnerships, connect world to real world green projects, modernize vocational training, focus on sustainable practices and technologies, and above all, work towards green campuses as living labs for the sustainability. So for that one, for green economy, we should have future-proof skills, that is adapting and resilience for the ongoing changes, be it a climate change or whatever. The innovativeness should be towards the green economy. The career paths, clear routes into emerging green jobs should be defined. Resilience building, gain practical sustainability knowledge. Empowerment, students become proactive sustainability champions, and thereby they'll be graduate success that is positioned for thriving in a sustainable future. So for this one, we need to have reskilling and upskilling for the green transition. curriculum integration, vocational training and STEM focus, project-based learning, and partnership with the green industries. This should be our focus. And the role of educators and policymakers is vital, because teachers must be equipped through professional development to teach green concepts effectively. Government and institutions must prioritize policies that incentivize sustainable education, including national green education frameworks, funding for green technology in schools, collaboration between academia and environmental organizations. Thereby, I can say that a greener future begins in the classroom. Educating students today means preparing them not just for jobs, but for global citizenship. Building a green skill generation ensures not only employability, but also a sustainable future for all. Thereby, we'll have Mother Earth for everyone. Investing in green education is investing in resilience, equity, and planetary health. Thereby, I can say that for investing in a sustainable future, we have to empower students. Green skills drive the economic growth and opportunity. Achieve the global goals. Education is critical for sustainability targets. And this is possible only when we call to action. Integrate green skills into education systems now. It's high time that we are not integrating it yet, but it's high time every university, like how our guest lecturer has also mentioned about it, chief guest, that they have to be RENE, that we have to integrate green skills into our education system. Thank you all for this opportunity. If there are any queries, I'm open to queries. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Eshwar. Thank you. That was a wonderful presentation. Yes. May I request Dr. Tanujam to do the summary and then I'll discuss.
Yes, thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Eshwar, ma'am. Yeah, very wonderful talk. You rightly said that each subject should teach about the sustainability. It is absolutely, we have to follow, and each and every higher education, they must follow the ESG, that is environmental social governance. So, and also you addressed about the reskilling, and actually it is each and every learning process must incorporate unlearning outdated methods. And also you addressed about the green thinking, that is the green skill educations. So definitely that has to be integrated, and each and every all the students they have to follow. And also you have addressed about the key aspects on eco-consciousness technologies, sustainable practices in agriculture and industry sectors, and also emerging green careers. So and also you addressed about why it matters, and because nowadays the climate challenges we are facing, so these green skills are vital for low carbon future, and also the employability and responsible innovations. So thank you, ma'am. Thank you for your wonderful talk on this pointer, reskilling students for future work, green skills in education. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. Thank you, Tanuja, ma'am. And definitely to sum it up, the very key thing that we need to take is green skills. What are green skills? Ma'am has very categorically mentioned it. It is the knowledge, ability, and the values that are needed to support for a sustainable society and also economy. So both are a threat now. Sustainable society and the environment is also a threat. Sustainable and economy at the global level is also a threat. So this green skill, they encompass the expertise that are required for the sustainable development, with the attitude that it promotes the environmental responsibility of each and everyone. When it comes to the sustainability, it's not that somebody else is there. It starts from self. Charity begins at home. So with the social responsibility, these skills are quite necessary and mandatory for transitioning the whole world. It's not only the low carbon future that we're talking about, but also the green, definitely. So the thing that is very clearly, crystal clear depiction was there. As the world transition is going on, nothing is changed, nothing is permanent in this world, as we have seen through and through. Only change is permanent. So as the world transition is going on towards a more sustainable and environmental conscious future, it is essential to develop students with these skills needed to have a thrive in the green economy. as such, as Dr. Shukla was also mentioning, the importance of the financial education in all the education institutions. And also, Sir was mentioning about the environmental sustainability learning in each and every classroom, whether it is a school or education, university, higher section, whichever it is, not necessarily inside the classroom, anywhere the learning takes place, it should really contribute to the community. That is the whole purpose of the education. If our education system is not going to cater to this, is not going to be sufficient, is not going to be an answer for this, why do we even have such an education system? I really don't know. The education system that we are following here now is 135 years old. Kudos to all of us. We are just blindly following exactly what is happening. But we need to bring in the knowledge of sustainability, knowledge, renewable energy skills, as Ma'am was mentioning, energy efficiency, green building and construction, and environmental management, etc., etc. As Ma'am summed it up saying the word labs, educational labs. Ma'am, that's a beautiful word that I really tell, because if you actually see down the lane what our education system is going on is, we have a profession, it's a family profession, whatever thing, and definitely it's like, it goes like hierarchy or whatever thing, generational wise, but it is actually the need of the hour. We are thinking about students completing graduation, +2, higher secondary, and then thinking about a job. Why? Why don't you have your family profession and enhance the expertise, experience it, expertise it, and you start working on those? That is what the green skill is all about. Such that they don't think about education, they don't think about the job after completing the education process. They are into it and they are going to support their parents, they are going to help the community, and it just goes on. When we talk about the term, the STEM, the big thing, it's the actual life experience that we're talking about. And definitely developing a green curricula with the green training programs and everything, with industry partnerships, whichever industry it is, whether it is exactly as Ma'am had given ample examples for it. So this is what the green skill is all about. We are thinking about something which is green skill means, okay, it's something that we need to learn. Not at all. It is just a life process that we have termed it as green skills, nothing else. So thank you so much. On that note, maybe request the next speaker. Yes, thank you, dear. Ms. Krishna, whom are we going to invite now?
Excuse me, ma'am.
Whom are we going to invite now?
I'm pleased to welcome Dr. G.P. Sudha from the Department of Political Science and Public Administration, Dr. MGR Educational and Research Institute, Chennai. With 16 years of teaching experience and extensive research in public policy and women's studies, she is a dedicated educator and a scholar. Today, she will present on empowering the green workforce, reskilling students for a sustainable future, highlighting the importance of green skills and interdisciplinary learning, and aligned with India's vision of a sustainable economy. Ma'am, the stage is yours.
Madam, you're muted. You need to unmute, madam.
Yeah, she is muted now.
Are you able to hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Okay. Good evening to all. Especially good evening to Dr. Srividhya, Sukumar, esteemed dignitaries, faculty members. It's my honor and privilege to extend a warm welcome to each one of you this evening. A special welcome is also mentioned, especially for Sridevi ma'am, who is deliberating for a long time now, whose presence here itself is inspiring. I'm actually truly grateful to have you with us.
Thank you.
I'm extremely happy and honored to be a part of this meaningful platform today. I'm here to share a brief thought on a theme that is both timely and vital: empowering the green workforce, reskilling students for a sustainable future. As we stand at the crossroad of economic growth and environmental responsibility, the role of education in shaping a future-ready, green-skilled generation has never been more important. We are moving beyond traditional learning and embracing skill-based, environmentally conscious education that prepares students not just for jobs, but also for leadership in sustainability. So what is skilling, upskilling and reskilling of students? The process is nothing but it is enhancing student skill through, so skilling is nothing but it is enhancing students through education, training and experience. It is encompasses both technical as well as technical skills. It's like subject knowledge, tools and soft skills like communication, teamwork, problem solving. So the goal here we are able to see is to equip students with capabilities needed to succeed academically, professionally and personally. So this is what we call it as skilling. But upskilling, we are calling it is enhancing existing skills within a student in current field of study. So here we are only talking about enhancing these skills with the students in the current whatever they are specializing with. So focused on a deeper expertise and career advancement. So now the concept of reskilling, it is like acquiring a new skills to transition into a different career paths or adapt a new role that is enabling flexibility and responsiveness to changing job markets, which is currently happening today. So what are the key benefits of this skill-based learning? It is, as earlier discussed, it is promoting lifelong learning. So that encourages continuous growth through online platforms and adaptive mindsets. So this online platform, how far it is available as it is urban and rural, it has its divide. Perhaps students to evolve with industry trends. So next thing is they need industry trends to be prepare themselves or to become evolved. So bridges the education and employment gap. Here we are able to see is the aligned learning with the employer needs. Is we have to bridge these gaps to align learning with employers' needs. So translate education into job readiness. So we need a curriculum which is going to translate education into job readiness. So this will ultimately boost employment. So in-demand skills like coding, leadership, communication, teamwork, these are all in demand because we lack these students in the current scenario. They are lacking all these things. Enhancing. So what happens is the career opportunities across sector, it has to be enhanced. Next thing is we are supposed to encourage personal empowerment, that is build confidence and self-reliance, so that they will get themselves inspired in entrepreneurship and passion-driven careers instead of being very, very focused on educational and other careers. So fostering innovation and an entrepreneurship. So what will happen is naturally it will nurture creativity and solution-oriented thinking. This will equip the learners to turn ideas into impact. So ultimately, the students will foster innovation and entrepreneurships. Next thing is enabling agility to tech-driven environments, so that it will ensure resilience in evolving workplaces. So that will make the students support adaptability. So what the students currently need is it needs a pedagogical shift, like critical thinking and innovation should be added to their curriculum. Collaboration and teamwork should be there. Real life problem solving should be there. Hand-on experimental learning should be there. So all these things so the pedagogical shift we are expecting, so that the students can have get themselves empowered. So we are supposed to actually skill-based learning, that is we are supposed to move from a rote learning to a real-world readiness. So here skill-based education builds competencies in problem solving, communication, collaboration, leadership, digital fluency, real-life application over memorization. All these things are happening with this skill-based education is incorporated in full-fledged. Next is green skills. Essential for what is green skills? As already it is like climate literacy, green jobs. So what is climate literacy? It should begin early in school curricula itself, not instead of in higher education. It has this climate literacy has to start right early in the school curricula itself. Next thing is green jobs in renewable energy. All these things like renewable energy, sustainable construction, conservation, they are all growing rapidly. And so that if the climate literacy is given to them from the primary school curricula itself, it will help empower them to put themselves into these green jobs. So sectors from mechanics to AI can support climate solutions. So fostering global responsibility is among students. So India is shifting from a traditional rote learning to a more experimental and critical thinking based model inspired by global examples like Finnish education system. So next thing is we are able to see is a reskilling revolution, which is a global call for education reform. It was launched in 2020. The reskilling revolution unites governments, business, and civil society to transform the global skilling landscape. Response to the urgent need for modern practical education in a fast changing world. So we can see that our Honorable Prime Minister of India, Shri Narendra Modi, he itself is talking about developing the skills of the younger generation in a national imperative and the cornerstone of an Atmanirbhar Bharat we are able to see. So textbook knowledge alone is no longer enough. Students need practical adaptability to succeed in real world scenarios. Next thing is workforce transformation is very, very essential. In rapid changing job markets, skill development is a vital for promoting inclusivity and resilience. So community-based reskilling models are should be implemented. So in that at a scale, it should be implemented at a scale to inspire systematic change, focused on building future-ready talent pipelines designed to be replica and impactful across diverse regions. So what will be the key objectives is to promote workforce readiness, to ensure economic participation across demographics, respond dynamically to technological disruptions. So we can see that a revolutionary shift is taking place in Indian education, especially in NEP 2020 introduces a flexible learner-centric approach focused on skill, employability, and holistic development. Same way, the NCRF is integrating academic and vocational learning through a credit-based system. So what are the key features of these two policies which are implemented by the Indian government is, it is integrated. The key features are vocational training integration, that is credits for internship, apprenticeship, online learning, and work experience. Next thing is academic bank of credits, ABC, a digital system to store and transfer learning credits. Next thing is multi-entry and exit flexibility. Learners can pause and resume education based on the life situation. So recognition of prior learning, that is informal learning, is validated and credentiated. Next thing is industry academic linkages, curricula shaped by evolving job market needs. So NEP and NCRF are forging an inclusive, skill-driven education system vital for India's global competitiveness. So next is why green skill matters. So as the climate crisis is worsening, developing green skills is essential to support sustainable practices and innovation across industries. So nothing but what are these green skills? As earlier mentioned, it is nothing but a knowledge in environmental protection, sustainable resource uses, and climate awareness, where the students are not aware this is what are the green skills. So it has to be inculcated in them, involves eco-innovations and sustainable designs. The current gap we are able to see is, despite their importance, green skills are often absent from school curriculums. This limits students' readiness to participate in climate solutions. Next is the cornerstone of, we can see that Green Skill Development Program, GSDP, which is created by the government. Here, India's growth must align with ecological sustainability to combat climate change and ensure long-term prosperity. So the GSDP overview is that was launched in 2017 by the Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change to train the youth in environmentally responsible skills, support sustainable livelihoods, align workforce development with climate goals. So start early, we can see that climate literacy should be integrated from a young age to all students, that is from the school curricula itself. Next is green jobs are growing, high demands for roles in renewable energy, conservation, green construction, and sustainability consulting. All these has to be properly trained. Next, every job can be green. from bike mechanism to AI developers, all sectors can contribute to environmental solutions. So it requires a foundation of environmental understanding. Basically, the students should have an environmental understanding. Then next is fostering global responsibility. So educating students in green skill, it will build a generation prepared to lead sustainability efforts, encourage climate actions, innovations, and environmental leaderships. So education, to conclude, education reform underway. It is traditional focus on rote learning is being replaced by experimental learning inspired by models like Finland's model. Then NEP 2020 shifts focus to skill-based education aligned with real-world industry needs. So we have an urgency of reskilling, that is 120 plus million workers, especially the students, may need reskilling globally due to automation and AI. So 79% of Indian professionals are actively upgrading their skills. So skill is highly in demand in India. So technical skills like digital tools, data literacy, emerging technologies, like even the soft skills like communication, adaptability, problem solving, and you have the strategic outcomes are empowered and competitive workforce, organization with agile, skill talented will lead the future economy. So the future belongs to those who are prepared, not just with academic knowledge, but with practical skills and a sustainable mindset. Skill-based and green education are no longer optional, they are essential. By transforming our educational approach towards today, we ensure that the youth of tomorrow are empowered, employable, innovative, and environmentally conscious citizens ready to lead in a rapidly changing world. NEP 2020 and GSDP together represent India's commitment to inclusive, sustainable, and future-ready development. So basically, I feel that there needs to be greater awareness among parents that the old ways of teaching and learning are no longer sufficient for today's world. To truly prepare students for the future, we must shift towards more dynamic, skill-based, and environmentally conscious education system. Equip teachers to play a crucial role in this transformation. They must take the lead in integrating green skills into the school curriculum, helping students understand their role in building a sustainable future. Moreover, governmental initiatives should not be limited to higher education alone, but must begin at the school level and continues throughout all stages of learning. A multidisciplinary approach combining science, environment, technology, and social awareness is essential to build a generation that is not just educated, but empowered to lead responsibility. Let us all, educators, parents, institution, policymakers, work together to make this shift a reality. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Shuddhama. It's a very wonderful talk. You are insisting about the transformation. Really, the transformation is very essential in this crucial period. So, this paradigm shift is very, very, very important. You have addressed about the green skills and also about India's green transition demands. That is youth equipped with the climate literacy and also about the eco innovation and sustainability competence. And also you addressed about the National Educational Policy 2020's skill-based approach, prepare the students for renewable energy and also green infrastructure. And also you talked about the green jobs. It's really it's very important because in today's we are in the AI world. So each and every field they're focusing on the green jobs. It will be reduces our the whatever we are facing. That is about the climate change. And also you address about the core elements about the climate smart education, vocational green skills, and also renewable energy focus. Thank you, Dr. Sudha ma'am, for a wonderful talk. Thank you.
Thank you, Tanisha ma'am. Thank you, Sudha ma'am. That was really really covered everything, and talking about reskilling students for future work and the more importance of green skills in education, whether it is sustainability knowledge or renewable energy skills which are required, or energy efficiency and competency, with talking about the green environment that we're talking about, with the environmental management, without jeopardizing, because when we talk about sustainability, we can't bring something new as such and bring the change overnight. It's about without jeopardizing the present situation, how to handle the environmental management systems and policies and practices with interdisciplinary approaches, project-based learning with industry partnerships, professional development, which is required not only for the students but also for the teachers, parents, and all the other stakeholders who are involved in the process, even the service providers. So further proofing with exactly the building the environment with the infrastructure, basic infrastructure of transport, safety, security aspects involving in that, such that driving for green economy with innovation and entrepreneurship, thus developing a global citizenship. And how to develop this green curricula, big question, which has been led through and through with all the discussions, is that it's definitely a very challenging situation for educational institution to integrate green skills into the curricula. As I mentioned before, we are so attached to this 135 years old education system. To bring a change into it now, though we are talking about it, we are thinking about it, we are dreaming about it, we are trying to inculcate it, but exactly what is the thing? We are definitely so confined to our root learning within the four walls of the classroom. Think about, if I'm going to, frankly speaking, if I'm going to say the word education, close your eyes and think what comes to your mind. The desks, which are arranged in rows and columns with students sitting there on the desk opening their books. Maximum what change we have brought is we have got mobiles and laptops in the classrooms. Are we thinking ahead of exactly what is it? Why do we need textbooks? Why do we need to have this grinding, chewing the cud system over there into the classrooms? I really don't understand. I find no meaning in that. Everything is available in the internet. Everything is available to the student on a platter right before them. We are not there to produce it right in front of it. We don't need to do that exactly. But we need to have like going little away from the topic, sorry, kindly excuse me for that. Why do we need to go to the place of worship? To equip ourselves, to get those energies within us, to recoup ourselves with the energies. Schools are a temple of learning for students to do that, to get something new, to energize themselves, which is not there in them, not to reproduce the whole thing, which is already there in front of them. This is what I feel like reskilling, reimagining the whole system of education. Schools should be laboratories where the students come for only experiential learning, collaborative learning with project-based methods, not for exams, not for reproducing the whole thing on the papers. I really don't know exactly. I may differ. I don't know how many of you will agree with me. This is what I feel. The school should have workshops of carpentry, engineering, STEM education, everything. What is STEM? It's science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, covered with artificial intelligence in the form of art and culture. So where is this happening? Is it actually happening? Is the school really, schools and colleges and institutions, becoming a place for worship, a temple of learning for all these activities? This reimagining education has to be achieved by 2030, and we're talking about it on 2025. Let's see what takes it forward. Thank you so much. On that note, thank you, ma'am.
Yes. Yes, that's what the quality education SDG4 is insisting nowadays.
Yeah.
And not a theoretical, but everything should be incoming practical.
And moreover, if we are learning something, if we are not giving back to the community, what I have learned, I'm not going to give it back to the community with my capacity. As a student, I have learned something in science. Am I going to do something new which is not there before? Have I worked on that? Have I really, I'm working on those skills of mine such that I'm able to give something new to my community? Am I contributing on that level? There is such far and beyond.
Yes, absolutely.
We need to really look about it. So thank you, ma'am. On that note, maybe request Nisha to welcome the next speaker. Thank you.
I'm pleased to welcome Dr. Vasanthi Reena Williams from Vidya Vikas Institute of Engineering and Technology, Mysore, India. With a distinguished career in academic research and administration spanning over 3 decades, ma'am has made remarkable contributions to the field of education and leadership. A recipient of several prestigious honors, including the NIPM National HR Excellence Award and the Best Management Education Leadership Award, ma'am brings both depth and experience to today's discussion. She will speak on bridging the gap between digital skills and employability, emphasizing the challenges and solutions for aligning the education with workplace demands. Ma'am, the stage is yours.
Ma'am, your presentation is visible, ma'am.
Yeah, yes, I was muted. Thank you so much for your kind words. I'm so happy to be part of this platform once again. Moving forward, these are my. It's not moving. Yes. The focus of my talk today is on lifelong learning and education policies, and I'm interlinking that with another pointer, transforming education towards equitable quality education to achieve SDG 4.0. The concept here is, as I understand, and what we hear from the speakers who've spoken so far, talking about learning process being a continuous one. We know that each day is a learning process because of the macro environment. Things are changing and all of us need to be updated. Otherwise we become obsolete. Technology is also catching on so quickly that, every day there's something new happening, and until and unless, because as I understand, majority of us here are educators, until and unless we update ourselves, we are unable to share that knowledge or update that knowledge with the younger generation. Obviously, when we're talking about transforming education, then policies also become a part of it, and that is related to lifelong learning for creating a systematic framework to support individuals pursuing learning at all stages of their lives. So now I have come up with a few models. Hello, is there a question?
Sudha ma'am, kindly mute yourself. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Please go ahead.
Okay. So, So these are a few models that I'm showing here. I'm not delving on the discussions, but rather on the models, so that because we are discussing on the same topic. So lifelong learning policies would encompass these points as I have just put it all together. One is we need accessibility, that is to ensure that there is financial aid for everyone, equitable financial aid for everyone, flexible learning modes and outreach programs. Of course, we have all these things like, you have scholarships being provided by the government. There are flexible learning modes, like how we are, having this platform where it's flexible. It's also permitting people from across the globe to meet at a point in time and discuss. That is there, but it is not possible. It is not something that is available to everybody equitably. So that accessibility needs to be put in place to ensure lifelong learning. Secondly, we need a mechanism to recognize the acquired skills, which can lead to some kind of the APA scoring and so on, that should help people get into job advancements, because still in many places, though there are some organizations, there are some universities, there are some institutions which are giving credit for say supposing I have completed my post-graduation through a distance mode, education mode. There may be some organizations which might not consider that as sufficient enough, considering that I am not in touch with my faculty and I'm not capable. Whereas there are some who agree to that and consider that as academic credit equivalent to someone who would have attended regular college and give me a promotion. So that is also needs something to be highlighted. Next is ensuring learners acquire up-to-date knowledge and skills, as most of the speakers so far mentioned, that we need to ensure that there is skill involved in the learning process rather than just a theoretical sharing. And guidance and support for identifying available opportunities, because that will help the students identify which line I need to take, what are the skills required for that particular field, and then take that forward instead of learning everything and later understanding that that was not actually required for my career. And then leveraging technology for engaging and personalizing the learning experience. This is linked to what I just mentioned a little earlier, so that when you engage the students in their through their particular subject, because I have been following this process in my teaching pedagogy, and I find it very effective. I ensure that the students go for mini projects. Any subject that I handle, whether it is logistics and supply chain, or whether it is business law, or whether it is design thinking, I ensure that they submit some kind of a project where they would have visited an industry, and then they make a presentation on it. And I have found it successful. I found that model a little successful. And lastly, creating a comprehensive lifelong learning ecosystem. So once that kind of a mentality is put in my place, it becomes a part of our daily routine, and we try to encompass and try to learn something new day in and day out. So this is one of the models that I felt would be good. The second one is the education policies for individuals, again focusing on the pointers. One is providing digital literacy for those who have missed on earlier education, because we have the Gen Z and the baby boomers still in place. So we need to ensure that the divide is bridged. Secondly, assisting adults acquire new skills for career chances and employment, and then supporting adults in pursuing further learning for professional development, and assisting the learning needs for marginalized adults. Now, why I'm mentioning this is because we are role models for the younger ones. So until and unless we show that we are pursuing or enhancing our knowledge, the younger ones will not follow. So this is basically what I'm trying to push through here. And policies promoting lifelong learning would involve from the government or from the educational the committees, the associations. One is subsidies for individuals investing in learning and development. So this is ensuring that the have-nots will be able to join the mainstream, because many a time education is stopped because it is not affordable, and the individual needs to take care of his or her responsibilities, personal responsibilities, and hence education becomes a stumbling block for them, and they start looking for employment to sustain themselves and their family. So when there is subsidies for individuals investing in learning, probably that will be a motivating factor. Secondly, mandating employer support. Of course, many companies do support their employees to go for education. They give them a sabbatical so that they can finish their education and come back and join, but not all do that. So that should be made, just like we have the ESG, the CSR, we need to have this as well. This can be part of it and can be mandated. Next is creating an awareness about benefits of lifelong learning. So when I know that it is going to be people do, individuals basically do anything only when they feel that it is going to be beneficial. So if that kind of an awareness is given, because if I ask one of my neighbor, why don't you, she's a little elderly, almost my age. So when she has an ordinary handset, so I told, and she's not very much educated. So I told her, I advised her to go in for an Android phone. And she said, I don't need it at all. And I told her there's so many things that you can learn from that. And I just displayed to how she can utilize it. But initially she found that it is not useful at all. It's later on, as I kept on, urging her to understand the importance and how she can involve herself in that, she started going through YouTube And then she learned how to pico the saris, and then now she does that. She learned it through YouTube, and now she does that, and she's earning a little bit of pocket money, I can say. So it's not that I influenced her, but the change in mindset brought in about it. So awareness about benefits of lifelong learning. So, earlier she felt there's nothing more in my life. I have kids and they're all married and everybody settled. So my life is only to take care of my grandchildren. But now she understands that there's so much left in life. It's not just about thinking about only one part of her activities. And then lastly, creating community learning centers or online platforms which will cater, because they are present, but then the kind of awareness about this is yet to be shared among people. So that is the policies promoting lifelong learning. And coming to the last, that is the SDG 4.2, transforming education. What the key aspects for transforming education? One is moving beyond equality. We should look into the personal or social circumstances that should not be an obstacle to achieve the educational potential. Secondly, for effective learning, quality of teaching, as many of the previous speakers said, teacher training is very much important. So quality of teaching, skill development, critical thinking, digital literacy, all these help in effective learning. And then creating opportunities. So for an individual to acquire new skills and knowledge at any stage in life, opportunities need to be created. And last is transforming the policies of policy changes, development of curriculum, pedagogy, funding for education, all these become a part of transformation policy changes. So the way forward, firstly, we need to prioritize education in national policies and budgets across all nations. Secondly, identifying and addressing root cause of educational inequality. Why is this happening in some places while it is successful in some other places? So if we are able to capture the root cause, that would help in bridging the gap. And next is investing in innovative solutions, use of technology. Innovative solutions is not just bringing in technology, but like the lady I spoke about, the elderly lady I spoke about, who felt she has no use of her mobile phone. A mobile phone is only meant to get in touch with her children or her grandchildren. That's all. She felt that was sufficient. I told her how, because she can't speak English and she can't read English, obviously. So she speaks the local language. So I told her that if she has an Android phone, she can just put in the photo of her, a friend, or maybe if I want to call her, she will know who's calling by seeing the image of the person who's calling. Or even if she wants to dial a number, she need not ask someone to help her to dial a number, because she just has 3 or 4 numbers on her phone. But now that is helping her to get in touch with her neighbors, her relations, and so on. She doesn't have to depend on her children to get her connected to any one of her relations. So that is the concept I'm mentioning about. Next is monitoring and tracking the process. Once you put something in practice, we need to control that. In management studies, this is what we usually do. So monitoring should be a part of the process. And then we are fostering a collaboration and knowledge sharing, so that, as the previous speaker just spoke about something on identifying native problems, and then how we can help overcome that through the students. They're talking about how students can be involved in coming up with identifying solutions for native problems, and that will help solve it. So this is a part of that particular suggestion. And thank you all for your patient listening. These are the references, important references that I went through for my talk. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Vasanthi ma'am. As usual, we can be expected from you. Well, I request Tanuja ma'am to summarize it on the market. Thank you.
Yeah, very interesting talk, Dr. Cynthia ma'am. You're in, your talk, yeah. You have addressed about your successful model, about your the pedagogy,
Yes.
yes, really very nice. That is called as a quality teaching and effective learning, I can say. And also, you addressed about the education policies and digital literacies, and particularly about the generation gap, because nowadays we are talking about the Gen Zs and other things. So this kind of bridging the academia and the skills divides in the digital age, that has to be you have addressed very in your talk. So that has to be followed, and also we the teachers must be the role models, because nowadays the technology. It won't teach about the, because we must be an inspiration, and we must be a role model for our students. So that makes our students that what I can say is it will be stay in their mind.
Yes.
And so these kind of quality of teaching must be like our teachers. We have the responsibilities, I can say. And also, you talked about the lifelong learning. So it's very, very, very important, because we have that in our outcome-based education, and also the program outcomes we are following. So it is very important, and also you given a very good example, the change the mindset, it's really, and also you addressed about the creative community centers and online platforms. So yes, yes, ma'am. So good, nice, wonderful talk. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
You. And my apologies, I had invited Vasanthi Valliammai out of turn because I really want her to moderate the following speakers, because usually ma'am has a lot of insights to share. So I didn't want to miss on that. So I have requested Krisha to invite Vasanthi ma'am out of turn, and definitely my apologies for that. Well, coming to the bridging the gap, and so I think ma'am will definitely do the honors by moderating the rest of the speakers, if you can, ma'am. Thank you.
Oh, ma'am, I'm so sorry. I may have to leave in between. That's the reason I didn't accept the moderation as well. You had given me this opportunity, and I really feel honored about it. But I'm stuck with 2-3 jobs, and I'm actually multitasking at the moment. So please excuse me, kindly excuse me this time. I'll try to pitch in between.
Thank you. That's quite, that gives a lot of encouragement for us. So bridging the gaps with the digital skills and employability, that especially with the rapidly evolving digital landscape, because each and every one of us trying to do things out of our competency, going beyond and walking those extra miles and doing that. It demands definitely the workforce with relevant digital skills and to remain employable. Definitely, that's a challenge. Whether it is, as our guest speaker was mentioning, whether it is data analysis and interpretation, digital marketing and communication, cloud computing, cybersecurity, so many things, data handling, with artificial intelligence and machine learning, which is challenging everybody as such in present world. But still, we are trying our level best to bridge the gap between this and to challenge those challenges which are right in front of us when it comes in terms of AI automation and all these things. So definitely in this accord, for our students, the younger generation, industry academia collaboration is the need of the hour. Thanks for that highlight, ma'am. Definitely it is the need of the hour, because after completing something, it's not, you cannot go and work on it. It's not going to help anymore at all. So the industry academia collaboration has to happen in terms of apprenticeships or internships, etc., such that this continuous learning, process of continuous learning, upskilling and reskilling ourselves with the digital literacy programs and mentorship and coaching will definitely pave way for, it will be a gateway for increased employability, improved productivity, innovation and competitiveness, and career and advancement. So for all these things, definitely we are all banking on definitely the stakeholders, the government support, the policy makers who are actually, the government support who are definitely there as the decision makers to take it forward. This upskilling, reskilling, reimagining has to happen from their point of view, such that the whole ecosystem and the system of exactly the education should actually get into the mode of innovation, and which will definitely suffice recoup our younger generation with the competitiveness. That is the actual thing which is expected to be. That's what is the standard that we are looking for. So that education is not a preparation for life, but it is actually the life itself. So that this happens simultaneously to address those challenges. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. Thanks for those brilliant inputs and insights. Thank you. Well, can we also, I request Ms. Krisha to invite the next speaker, Ms. Anjum Qureshi. Thank you.
We are pleased to welcome Dr. Anjum Nazir Qureshi from Rajiv Gandhi College of Engineering Research and Technology, Chandrapur, India. A certified life coach and expert in IoT and AI, she has contributed significantly through research, patents, and international speaking engagements. Today, she will address bridging the gap between digital skills and employability, focusing on strategies to equip learners with the digital competencies essential for today's job market. Ma'am, the stage is yours.
Thank you, ma'am. Your screen is visible. Yes, ma'am. Your screen is visible. Maybe you can go on to the presentation mode. Your video is quite visible and you are audible also.
So thank you very much, and greetings to everyone. I'm Dr. Anjum Qureshi, and today I will be speaking on the topic, bridging the gap between digital skills and employability. Now, I would like to start with a graph which actually tells about the world's most employable graduates. Now, this shows the global ranking of the universities, and it is being given based on a survey in 22 countries of management level recruiters and management directors. We show that the highest score in the survey is 681 and the lowest score is 49. But it is not just about the score. What I wanted to indicate over here is, if you just have a close look at the top 10 universities according to the global ranking that we give in, these are all the developed countries. So still we can see the employability in developed countries and the universities in the developed countries is more, whereas the universities from the developing countries, we need to find out where it is. Like we are talking about the digital skills, so I would like to start with what are the in-demand digital skills? Digital marketing, web development, mobile application. Yes, this is very, very important. I will surely speak in detail about how web development and mobile application can help. Then cloud computing techniques, because the demand for data is increasing with the use of techniques like the Internet of Things and the artificial intelligence, machine learning. There is a lot of data that is being exchanged, and so the demand for cloud computing has increased. So we need to know about cloud computing. The cyber security is very important, because when the data gets exchanged over the internet, the cyber security issues comes in. We have to be very familiar with the data privacy and the security concerns, and to avoid any kind of damage that can happen to us either in a professional or a personal way. Then UI UX, that is the user experience and the user interface designing. That is another digital skill that is in demand. Project management and blockchain technology. Blockchain technology is a consensus-based method, a consensus-based algorithm that is being used, and it is mostly used for security purposes, especially with the projects of IoT and the AI that they use. And well, for the web development and mobile application, we need, as we have been talking so much about reskilling ourselves, so this is the time that we need to reskill ourselves, because now we are thinking that it is not the time that we go for hunting for jobs, for searching for jobs. But with the help of these skills, like the web development and the mobile application development, many students can make their own future. They can become job creators instead of becoming job seekers for them. A survey which again tells about the India's digital talent landscape. Because when we talk about the job skills, there are technical skills, there are non-technical skills. But in India, we see there is a demand-supply gap of digital talent. That is 21.1%, that's the lowest globally. The total talent pool is we have 47.2 lakhs people who are in for jobs. And by 2026, it says that India could have a shortage of tech professionals. That is, there will be a shortage of 14 to 19 lakhs. So if you look at the survey, a key thing that we can find out is, when we are discussing, or when we are saying that the unemployment is increasing, so a key reason behind this is the employable youth that we have, they are lacking these digital skills, and that is why they are not able to get the right kind of jobs with it. Now, if we don't pay attention to this, to this digital divide that we are saying, where there are more number of people who don't actually have this digital skill, so what will be the effect of it? Like 1 in 3 people, because as we know, they lack the foundational digital skills. Now here, foundational digital skills, if I say, the digital skills which I discussed, like IoT, AI, blockchain, cybersecurity, this is where you can gain the skills after a lot of studying. But in fact, it's very basic things like using computers, using your internet, using emails. Those are also sometimes the people lack, and especially the people who never used it, after a certain age, they are reluctant to use it. So they are not getting ahead in life. Then 3 to 4 workers lack the resources to learn the digital skills. So this is one factor that should be considered. And then, yes, the nearly $11.5 trillion could be lost across 14 countries if the digital gap is in interest. Because they are having jobs, but they don't have people to work. This is going to bridge that. Now, let's have a look at the future of jobs. Here are just 3 basic sectors that I have given, that is the healthcare, manufacturing, and the banking. So, in the healthcare sector, now we think that, okay, there is a doctor or a medical practitioner to whom I have to reach out and tell him that I'm suffering from so and so problem. But in the coming times, these medical practitioners will be replaced by an app, where you will be using an app to get in contact with a medical practitioner, and there will be medical robotic assistance, and in fact that is being used, the robotic based surgery, so it is being used even today. So even if you are into medical professionals, you will be requiring this. In the manufacturing industries, your sustainability is the heart of the future production, and the humans here will not only work on the top of the production stage, we will work on the top of the production team for ideation and prototype generation, and the rest of the things will be carried out by the intelligent algorithms like the artificial intelligence and the 3D manufacturing techniques. Then banking. However, we are already on the verge of the cashless societies. Cashless transactions have become normal nowadays. And a time may come when physical banks may not exist at all. In fact, the usage of AI, the widespread of AI, there are researchers who are saying that in the coming 10 to 20 years, the mobiles, so the smartphones that we have, even they will disappear from our pockets. Even this is being estimated. So yes, machines will do everything, and the humans will be needed to only humanize that. So by 2025, 85 million jobs may be displaced by the shift in the division of labor between the humans and machines. The education systems and the lives of millions of young people sometimes feel that they are in danger of being left behind by this pace of change. So we are not in danger because this technologies have come, but we are in danger, but just because we are not able to learn this technology or get adapted to this technologies. So the 3 key ways the educators can prepare students for the future of work, because yes, being educators, we have a very, very great responsibility here. It is the 3 ways: disrupt the legacy curriculum, disrupt the role of the teacher, and disrupt the pace. Yes, we need to come out of the traditional classrooms. We need to change the syllabus. We need to have the syllabus that is aligned with the industry, because there is a huge gap between the requirements of the industries and what we are teaching into the college. In fact, besides the teacher training or the internships, the educators can actually visit the industries. They can know what are the current skills that are required by the industries, and then come back to the college and train the students for that. And then, of course, tell the industries, yes, we are having a group of students, and now this is the skill that we require, and we are having a set of students who are actually mastering the skills. So it is not that we just leave the students to learn anything they want. We need to know what skills are required in the industry and guide the students to train themselves to become masters. So yes, as I said, this is the 3 steps. The skills identification gap. We need to identify the gap that are already there for the digital future, then helping the youth to obtain those skills, and then create a system by which to certify the skills that you have acquired, the youth have acquired. Closing the skill gaps. So in this, the first thing is we have to create a national skills mapping system that will include a taxonomy of gender skills and categories with ways to measure skill system. Yes, sometimes the youth are very unaware of this, because in colleges I find like when they are in the final year of BTech, they are so they don't just, they're so clueless. They just don't know which course they will have to do, what advanced course they will need, which software course will give them job. So yes, the skill mapping system should be there. Use corporate training to support a national skill building engine. Their features proven private sector, are skilling programs and government policy frameworks that will efficient, scalable, and affordable. The third is build a national digital skill verification trust platform, like a secure distributed ledger or blockchain that enables youth to register and store their skill credentials. Develop skills forums to improve information sharing and key stakeholders that address trends in the job market and identify skill gaps, skilling programs, and skills youth need to type. In fact, if we talk about like the National Digital Verification Trust platform, in India, the My Bharat registration that is going on for the students, in fact, every student in India should go for My Bharat registration, because it is not just a registration on the government platform, but it is the platform which allows the students to upload their CV. They can write about their skills, and they can also get internships through it, and those internships used as a work experience, because nowadays the industries, they come for freshers, they come searching for freshers, but still they say that, do you have an experience? So when they ask for an experience, it's not the job experience, actually the internship experience that you're having. So the platforms like My Bharat are very useful for the youth. Then, in conclusion, I would like to say that in this era of digital transformation and with the advent of big data, digital literacy and data literacy are becoming increasingly important. And for addressing these essentials, we need a goal-based approach in a continuing journey, equipping education to recall for the future. And this will demand fundamental shifts from control to engagement, from rigidity to agility, and from power to partnership. So that's what I had to share. Thank you very much for listening and also for this wonderful opportunity.
Anjum Qureshi. Well, that was a wonderful presentation indeed. Mind-blowing, definitely. Would I like to hear it from Dr. Mamta Chawla or even Vasantirina Valliammai? Would you like to add on to that?
Yeah, it's great. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Srividhya ma'am. It's really interesting to listen to the experts. Specifically, all are having a different agenda, like the digital literacy. Yes, I think there's a lot of digital divide coming. The youngsters, we need to learn from them. And what about the elderly people? How some are reluctant? And yes, if I talk about general living, so the payment mechanism is becoming more of digital nowadays. So how the first speaker I listened to that was talking about that, yes, sustainability starts from the school and not only from the higher education. So from school teaching to higher education, how we need to talk about green. Green again, green means futuristic. So that start from, like ma'am said, charity begins at home, from the educator point. So what is our perspective in our personal life to in our professional life, how we are incorporating. And thanks to Anju ma'am for bringing all together and bringing one more perspective that yes, it's everyone's responsibility. And yes, very nicely ma'am said experiential learning. Why should we give the student the fundamentals in the classroom when they can check online? They're smart enough. They're smart enough to type and search, convert images into text and text into audio. I really see when the school student, how they use a lot of metaverse and app, they create their own avatars, what type of dressing they're living into. Somehow we need to bring them to the world. They want to live in the fantasy world as well. So what they're doing in terms of energy wastage to thinking about futuristic. Sometimes these people, the youngsters, become too much into present. They forget about their future, what investment of time they are doing in themselves or not. And very nicely, Anju ma'am brought that into picture that yes, the skill gap. The career counseling, they're not aware what they're doing and how in future they're going to really bring that into a profession kind of thing. And very nicely, Dr. Srividhya also highlighted, why should they wait for the education ending and then starting the employability? Why don't they see all around their own family members struggling to really manage their business well? Or maybe they're observant about what people are struggling and how they can involve their creativity, their freshness, because those young minds are not manipulated like us. We keep ourselves into the boundaries, and they are very imaginative kind of thing. So they can bring that innovation, what we started with, that yes, they can be job creator. So the apps, the platforms like we are talking about Swiggy, we are talking about Amazon, somehow these youngsters have brought these into picture. Very nicely, everyone has brought into. And yes, sustainability in education, I'm really impressed. Every speaker got their own agenda, what they're highlighting. Thanks, Dr. Srividhya ma'am, for triggering me that yes, you can also get involved. Thank you so much. I really enjoy this particular talk. Even in 10 o'clock, I don't want to leave the meeting. Thanks to you, ma'am.
You're welcome. Thank you, Dr. Mom.
Yeah.
Thanks for those inputs, definitely. Yeah, thank you. So moving ahead, like the same topic has been dealt with few other speakers before. So end of the day, definitely if the digital world is challenging us, we are not going to compromise. It's not going to replace humans at all. At all. It's not going to happen. Because end of the day, who created the digital world? It's we who have created it. So it's not going to replace us. Definitely. So somewhere around the lane, our support will definitely be there. What we are asking is, someone has created this 135 years old education system. We are blindly following it. Yes, 6 to 10 exam, then board exam, then they will write, they will go for engineering, medical. Why? Why can't we think something new? Why should we follow this old age system of education even today? When our children, I'm so proud to see the younger generation. They can look at her Krisha. She's not bothered. She's not scared. She's just handling. Oh, yes, professor is there. Yes, I know with due respect, but I will handle. I'll do my job. But this kind of courage, I did not have at that age. What I'm looking at Krisha, I'm comparing myself. I did not have that courage to talk like Krisha, that age, but she's able to do it. One example which is there with us, among us on this platform, on this dais, on this, guys, I'm just giving you an example. Likewise, each and every situation, the youngsters are far ahead than us. Why are we opening the textbook? Why are we grinding the same thing of notes and everything? It is already available to them. I swear, I promise, ma'am, when you open the topic, students would have already researched the topic beforehand and they would have had enough knowledge, and they will be sitting in front of you. Yes, ma'am is going to teach. I have to listen now. It's the fact. It is the reality. But give the mandate to them. Ask them to come and teach one day. See what they are doing. They are capable of that. We are undermining their capacities. Give them the project. Just lead them. They will go find the sponsors for themselves. They will definitely sell the thing in the market. They are capable of doing anything. Only thing is, our education system is so rigid. We don't want to give up on this. Only this examination, if you get 98 on 100, it will come in the board examination. You will be state first, national first, and this is what the whole thing is about. Let's come out of this convention. This is what my humble request is that. It will take ages, but still we can make the change. So on that note, we have got two very important topics to be discussed. One is with the satellite education. That's going to be the real highlight, which Mr. George will be speaking about it. Before that, we have got Dr. Anurag Agnihotri, who is here on the same thing, transforming education towards equitable quality education to achieve SDG 4. After hearing it from Dr. Anurag, we will go to strategies to mitigate future inequalities with Mr. George. Yeah, thank you so much. And we have got Mr. Arul King, who is again talking about bridging the gap between digital skills and employability, which we will definitely come back to that. Definitely. Thank you so much. So I request Ms. Krisha to invite the next speaker. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. I'm delighted to welcome Dr. Anurag Agnihotri, Assistant Professor at the College of Vocational Studies, Delhi University. With a PhD in finance and extensive research in governance and risk management, he is a scholar dedicated to advancing education and equity. Today, he will discuss transforming education towards equitable quality education, a pathway to achieving SDG 4.0, outlining strategies for inclusive and high-quality education worldwide. Sir, the stage is yours.
Thank you, Kasha. You have been really wonderful, and I'm thankful to Srividhya for providing me the opportunity. It was a learning experience listening to the speakers before me. So as Srividhya has given me the time duration, so I will try to limit my address within that. We are here with a shared vision to transform education and ensure the equitable quality education for all, as outlined in the United Nations Sustainable Development Goal 4. We call it SDG 4. Now, why this SDG 4 of the equitable growth, personal development, and economic growth is required to be achieved by transforming the education? Now, here I would like to be the devil's advocate, because till now, the many people has explained the positive points of the AI, but I would like to say that the old education system, a 135-year-old introduced by Macaulay, are we still able to change that? Are we preparing our students to take up the challenges as policymakers, as entrepreneurs, as scientists 20 years down the line? Today, we need to think that in the light of ChatGPT, which is killing the fundamental thinking, global warming, which is throwing new challenges to the businessman, youths, and policymakers, and which will be higher and more relevant after the 20 years. And will our students who will be acting at that time as the policymaker, as the professionals, as the entrepreneur, to meet those challenges? So current education system faces the significant challenge in preparing the student of complexity of the modern world with the AI tools. Global warming and the climate challenge add another layer of complexity, which requires our students to understand sustainability, environmental stewardship, interconnectedness of the global systems. And in this challenge, we need to transform our education. Everywhere, the student should be able to focus on interdisciplinary learning. They should not only focus on one domain, rather, they should have an integrated knowledge of science, technology, art, culture, mathematics. Why? Because in order to have a holistic development of the person, it is required that he should have the interdisciplinary learning. The student should have the critical thinking and the problem-solving attitude, and we should develop that. Rightly mentioned by Srividhya that Kasha is not able to, not hesitating to take the challenges. So are the students today and tomorrow will be able to have the attitude of problem solving, will having the solutions of their own? Because the colleges and universities will not be there to help them 20 years down the line. They will be the individuals who are policymakers. They will be the individuals who are the businessmen. And for that purpose, we need to inculcate the habit of the student that they should sustainability and environment literacy. We should emphasize on soft skill. This particular point was highlighted by my earlier speaker. And before that, Sudha P has talked about the lifelong learning. But in today's environment, the most important part, which as the teachers, because I feel that most of us are educationalists, are professors, so we, if really wants to transfer our education, we need to address on the systematic barriers which are stopping millions of the children to going to the formal education. Although we have got in India 96.5% students are going to the schools, but are they able to complete their education till higher level? Are the government fundings are enough? And I'm not talking about only with regard to India, I'm talking with regard to entire globe. And for that purpose, we must create an environment whereby the students, and we should really, truly transform education. We must address the systematic barriers that prevent marginalized communities and the societies from assessing the quality learning opportunities, which requires a multifaceted approach that prioritizes the equity, inclusivity, and the relevance. For that, the first what we need to do is to bridge the gap in access to education, particularly for the disadvantaged group, such as girls, children, and disability. For this purpose, we should have security in the schools, the cleanliness in the school, safety in the schools, and there should be proper hygiene facilities in the schools so that girls should not hesitate to go to the school. This can be achieved through targeted interventions like scholarship, infrastructure development, and technology-enabled learning platforms. Secondly, we must focus on improving the quality of education, ensuring that it is relevant, inclusive, and effective in preparing learners for the challenges of 21st century. Because 21st century is going to throw big challenges for our scientists in the food supply, storage, because you will have the rising sea levels. So this will involve investing in teacher training, curriculum reforms, innovative pedagogy, the foster critical thinking, and the problem-solving skills. Thirdly, we need to promote equity in education, recognizing that different learners have different needs. This requires implementing policies, programs that address specific challenges. I take one example. There was one blind person who was not getting admissions and importance in India, but when he approached to US, he has become a successful entrepreneur back in India after some time. So we need to provide that equity in education to every student, irrespective of the caste, creed, religion, and social stature. This requires policies and the programs which should be able to inculcate the confidence that the student from the different needs will be able to achieve their objective. Furthermore, we must harness the power of technology to enhance access, quality of education, digital platforms, artificial intelligence. But while doing that, we should always try to develop the fundamental thinking. Because what is happening today, the students are copying from the chat GPT. We, the professors, are writing our PPTs and others on the chat GPT. Will that solve the problem? No. Now, when you are going for any research, you are doing the review of literature. You are again searching out of the same databases which are already creating the data by the AI. So, very recently, I was having a session with AI experts where the problem for the LLM is now that they cannot be trained on the fresh data because all the data is already used and any new data is already created by the that AI model. So the fresh data, fresh thinking is not coming to those models. To achieve this particular goal, we require a collaborative efforts from the government, civil society, private sector, international organization. We need to pool our resources because we all know that we have got the scarcity of resources. In India also, we do not have more than 2.5% of our GDP on the education. So we need to spend more. Government cannot do full. So for becoming a developed country, we need 6% at least on the education system. So we need to put money from the civil societies, private sectors, so that this gap can be fulfilled. I would like to conclude by saying that transforming the education towards equitable quality education is a complex challenge that demands a comprehensive collective response by prioritizing equity, inclusivity, relevance, and we can ensure that every learner has access to quality education, unlocking their potentials and contributing to more just, peaceful, and prosperous world. And with that, we need to develop the capability in our students so that they can meet the challenges of future. I once again thankful to Srividhya for providing me the opportunity to participate in this session where I have the opportunity to listen the experts on different topics and to share my views on this topic. Thank you, Srividhya and Sri Krisha. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Anurag. It was quite insightful, definitely, as when we talk about transforming education towards equitable quality education is definitely crucial for achieving this SDG goal. When we talk about the inclusive education or this equitable education or the quality education, definitely all the three headers are put into strategies for achieving how to do it with the investment in teacher training, improving infrastructure, promoting lifelong learning, addressing the disparities which are involved in that in terms of exactly gender poverty, disability, and incompetency, exactly. Whatever thing, with the leverage of technology, to use it to enhance the access to the quality education, especially with the focus of marginalized groups, will be able to reduce this inequality and improve the economic prospects which are involved in it. That way we'll be able to empower the individuals for a sustainable development, definitely. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much for your presence and your contributions. We really value them. Thank you so much. On that note, may I request Ms. Krisha to welcome the next speaker. Thank you, Ms. Krisha.
I am truly honored to welcome Mr. George, legal consultant and president of the Interdisciplinary School of Fundamental Rights, Preventia, a distinguished author and expert in fundamental rights. His work spans numerous countries and disciplines. Today, he will present on strategies for an equitable future, the role of satellite education, exploring on how satellite technology can democratize education access, and inequalities globally, and meditate inequalities globally. The stage is yours,
Thanks,
sir.
Thanks, Doctor. We talk first to very honored and grateful to the G20 International One Planet Cabinet 2025 and the Dr. Srividhya Sukumar. In this opportunity, we talk about the important theme, the strategies to meet changing needs and mitigate future inequalities in satellite education. The rapid advancement of technology, coupled with evolving societal needs, presents both opportunities and challenges for education. Satellite education, with its potential to reach remote and underserved populations, plays a crucial role in bridging the education gap. However, to maximize its impact and mitigate future inequalities, strategic planning and implementation are paramount. This opportunity will explore key strategies to ensure that satellite education effectively addresses changing needs and prevents the exacerbation of existing inequalities. Primary strategies involves curriculum diversification and personalization. Traditional one-size fields and curricula often fail to cater to the diverse learning styles and needs of students and different geographical locations and socio-economic backgrounds. Satellite education platforms must offer flexible, adaptable curricula that incorporate diverse learning materials, including multimedia research, interactive simulations, and culturally relevant content. Personalization tools such as adaptive learning platforms can tailor the learning experience individual students' needs, ensuring that each learner receives the support they require to success. They require ongoing assessment and data analysis to identify learning gaps and adjust the curricula according. For example, a platform could analyze student platform performance or specific includes automatically adjust the difficulty level or provide supplementary research. Another crucial strategy is infrastructure development and digital literacy. The effectiveness of satellite education hinges on reliable infrastructure, include access to the satellite receivers, stable internet connectivity, and functionality computers on tables. In many underserved areas, this research area is scarce or not existent. Investing in infrastructure development is therefore essential. This includes not only provide the necessary hardware, but also ensuring its maintenance and repair. Equally important is foster digital literacy among both students and educators. Training programs should equip educators with the skills to effectively utilize satellite technology are integrated into their teaching methodologies. Students should also receive training on how to use the technology effectiveness and responsibility. This could involve workshops, online tutorials, and ongoing support. Finally, teacher training and support are vital for the success of satellite education. Educators need specialists training on how to effectively use satellite technology and adapt their teaching methods to the unique challenge and remote learning. This includes training on how to create engaging online lessons, manage virtual classrooms, and provide individualized support to students. Ongoing professional development opportunities should be provided, ensured that the education remains up to date with the latest technologies and pedagogical approach. Mentorship programs connecting experienced educators with those new the satellite education can also provide valuable support and guidance. Addressing the potential for the future inequalities requires provide measures on one critical aspect is equity of access. While satellite technology can reach remote areas, ensuring equitable access requires addressing socioeconomic barriers. Financial constraints can prevent families from affording the necessary equipment of internet access. Government subsidies, scholarships, and community-based initiatives can help overcome these barriers. Furthermore, language barriers can hinder access. Satellite education programs should offer multilingual support and culturally sensitive materials to ensure that all students can participate fully. Another important strategy is community engagement and collaboration. Successful satellite education programs require active participation of local communities. Engaging with community leaders, parents, and local organizations can help ensure that the program is relevant to the local needs and that the students receive the necessary support outside of the classroom. Collaboration with local schools and education institutions can also help integrate satellite education into the existing education system. This could innovate using satellite technology to supplement existing classroom instruction or to provide specialist training or enrichment programs. Furthermore, ongoing monitoring and evaluation are crucial for ensuring the effectiveness and quality of satellite education. Regular assessments of student learning outcomes, teacher effectiveness, and infrastructure functionality are essential to identify areas for improvement. Data collected through these evaluations can inform curriculum adjustments, teacher training programs, and infrastructure development initiatives. Transparent report of these findings can help ensure accountability and promote continuous improvement. This data-driven approach allows for adjustments to be made promptly, preventing the widening of existing inequalities. In conclusion, satellite education holds immense potential for expanding access to quality education and mitigating future inequalities. However, realizing this potential requires a comprehensive and strategic approach that addresses curriculum diversification, infrastructure development, teacher training, equity to access, community engagement, and ongoing monitoring and evaluation. By implementing these strategies, we can ensure that satellite education becomes a powerful tool for promoting education's equity and empowering learners across the globe. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you, Dr. George. It was quite insightful, very innovative thinking rather, definitely. As the topic itself is going to be on more kind of an innovative platform that we are thinking about. Strategies to meet the needs of mitigate the future inequalities through satellite education. As you have rightly mentioned, satellite education plays a very crucial role in addressing the changing needs and mitigating future inequalities. So when we talk about the first thing, like education is my birthright, it's not a commodity. So why there should be a reservation, like these people will have education, the other side will not, other people, why there should be a difference? So if the first step, if we are thinking about education is, it is universal, it should be available for all, it's my birthright. So when we talk about it, so access to education using satellite technology will provide education to underserved communities, remote areas and marginalized populations. Irrespective of the threat of not having internet, not having infrastructure, not having classroom, you don't need that. How people used to really educate themselves under a TV, under one radio, this can be possible. Definitely this can be possible. It can be done. Leverage satellite technology to offer personalized learning experiences tailored to individual needs and learning styles. Definitely. Whatever thing I can absorb, I will be able to absorb. I will absorb that, only that much, and I will work on it. And once I'm convinced that I have mastered that, then I will move on to the next stage. So let's give the liberty of learning to the children. Why are we confining them to a particular system of classroom, exam, promotion, report card? Why? So let's come out of this phobia and use the satellite technology to provide real-time updates and access to current information, ensuring students stay updated with the latest developments. With virtual mentorship, facilitate them with the programs and connecting students with experienced professionals and experts in the field. As experts, our job is only to facilitate the learning process. That's it. We don't need to spoon-feed them. That era is gone. That's a thing. So this satellite education will definitely provide continuity of the education during natural disasters, conflicts, other crises, etc., etc., etc. It's not going to affect at all. If I want to learn anything, I will have to switch on to the satellite mode. And if I'm going to learn whatever I have observed, I will apply it in the real life situation. I will do the project. I will see exactly how far I have understood. I will work on my own remedials as a student. So there will be a total responsibility of the learner just coming out of this phobia of the education background and the education ecosystem, the education whole setup that we're talking about. So with this, if we do that, it is going to be more enhanced flexibility, improved equity. It's going to be very cost effective, as you rightly said, and definitely we will be there to support it. So that's what is the whole inclusive and accessible education system is for all, helping to mitigate future inequalities and changing modes. As Dr. Qureshi was mentioning, there is going to be a future medical system which is coming up as an app that each one will be able to. These days we are doing it. We are checking our own BP. We are checking our own blood pressure. We are going to check. We are checking our own sugar levels and everything using an app. Then when it is so, why not education? What I want to learn, when I want to learn, how I want to learn. As a learner, I will learn and I will do the project. If you are a facilitator, as an educator, come and support me in this process. This is what is the whole requirement is all about. So with this, definitely we will be able to move ahead. On that note, may I request, thank you, sir. Thanks for having you, Amit, sir. Definitely your insights were quite awakening rather than, I would say that it was more educative. It was an awakening call to action. So we'll think about it and we'll invite the next speaker to take the call on that. I think it is Dr. Arul King. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Over to Ms. Krisha. Thank you.
I'm pleased to welcome Dr. J. Arul King, Assistant Professor at St. Xavier's Catholic College of Engineering, Nagarkoil, Tamil Nadu. With 13 years of teaching experience and expertise in image processing, machine learning, and embedded systems, he is deeply committed to motivating and training young minds. Today, he'll speak on bridging the gap between digital skills and employability, focusing on aligning digital education with industry needs to enhance workforce readiness. The stage is yours, sir.
So your screen is visible. It has loaded already. Your PowerPoint was visible. Only thing is you need to move on to the presentation mode. You have to on the video.
Am I audible to you?
Yes, quite audible. Thank you, sir. Thanks for your immense patience, because I think you are one of those who logged in first, and we are ending up the session with you. Thanks for the cooperation, sir. That's what this is about. Equitable education we're talking about. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much. Myself, Dr. J. Arul King, Assistant Professor, Department of Electronics and Communication Engineering, St. Xavier's Catholic College of Engineering. I'm very happy to present the topic on bridging the gap between digital skills and employability. Okay, and this is I'm very happy to talk in this topic. So I'm going to give you an introduction about what's our current education and about the outcome of the SDG 4. Okay. First of all, we have a very rapid digital transformation across the industry. In current scenario where we say 5G, 6G, and moreover, more IoT-based educations are coming, and the rapid digital transformation across the industry play a very great role today. And we need a very skilled people. Today, the skills mismatch causes the underemployment as well as the unemployment. So skill matching should be a very important core area in our education. And also, we people have to be a digitally literal people. All people who have a digital literacy should be there. Okay, that's what the introduction means. And we are defining the digital skills. All people in basic, all people should have email access, internet browsing, or using some basic software skills. And in intermediate, we can say people has to have some social management like Zoom or other tools, or data entry can be done. And advanced level digital skills, we can say, is programming and coding, and even in cyber security and data analytics skills. All these things should be important thing in advanced level. So we have the people needs to have digital skills in different people needs to have a basic, intermediate, and even advanced levels. And what the employers are looking for the people, okay, in colleges or in developing areas. So first important thing is the lifelong learning. Actually, this is PO412 from the Washington Accord. We need to learn about lifelong learning, even in school days to college days to work level. Even after work level, the lifelong learning is a very much important thing, and adaptability also a very important scaling factor in our thing. And next is digital communication and collaboration tools. So people has to be very much engaged in digital communication and even in collaboration tools. So even today we are doing in the talk in terms of Zoom. So many other platforms are available, Zoom, Microsoft Teams, Slack, and many other, even Google Meet is there. So next important, the employers are looking for this problem solving. So we need to solve problems. Okay, so even many problems are not have solutions. So we need to find digital solution for the problems. Okay, these are the main key points the people have interested in asking. And next is the skill gap. What's the main skill gap is in the SDG 4, I hope so. The 40% of workers lack sufficient digital skill. So in our current Indian scenario, and many educational systems lag behind industry needs. Okay, the industry needs is different. The education system outcome is different. The outcome should be matched with the industry needs. So that's the main important thing. And the young youth, those who are not getting unemployment, needs to be very good in developing their skills. Okay. Next, the cause for this skill gap, I have mentioned it is the main important thing is outdated curricula. The curricula should be improved every 2 to 3 years or something that should be done by the government to improve the new syllabi based upon the industry needs. And next is rapid development advancement. So in a current scenario, many development are happening in different fields. So that should be taken into account. And next is unequal access of digital tools and limited training in digital skills. So more training has to be given by the government or the colleges, or people has to get more training in the digital skills. Next is how to bridge the gap. The main thing is now we are more initiated in work-based training. That is, we call upon internships and apprentices. This is actually now even Startup India of our Prime Minister has initiated many internship-based education and apprentice-based education is now is started in our India. So maybe this soon will give a very fruitful bridge between the gap. And next is the online learning and digital literacy campaign is going on all over the scenario. So that's also give a very good level of understanding. And next is the industry academia partnership. Each and every academia has to have a MOU with the industry, and each faculty has to do a research in industry. So the partnership is developing more in nowadays scenario. Soon we'll have a very good bridge between the, we'll be bridging the gap. And next is the government and NGO involvement, like IGEN has to do more on the bridging the gap. Okay. Next is the real-time world examples like Google have already initiated many career certificates, and these certificates will help us if you are getting very certification in many, even in internship certificates are available, online courses are available in different areas, Zoos, and many other areas are Google itself giving. Even Microsoft Digital Literacy Program is specifically for Microsoft. And even Infosys, they have a Springboard with Anna University in Tamil Nadu. They have the Springboard mechanism, and each and every people, the local, have a different literacy programming. So that has to be improved. And the real, what's the role of the individual? So individual, what they do is they have to take different online courses, like Coursera is there. So even the student account, they have a free account, and they can have year-based courses can be taken. Very good courses are available. Even the faculties are taking the Coursera courses. Even LinkedIn Learning is there. There it is a common topic. Technically is also there, non-technical, but most probably Coursera. Even NPTEL is there in India. Swayam is there, and much more learning platforms are available. So that platform, so each and every individual has to learn their own advancement topics. And next is the practice using digital tools daily. So people are using mobile phone, but that should be used in a proper manner for learning based. And next is stay curious and open to learning. So learning should not stop. For the first itself, lifelong learning should be there. And we have to join in digital communities and forums to improve our next is the conclusion and we need to have a collective efforts needs to close the bridge and invest in yourself and others through upskilling. Okay, so skilling is very much important. Learning today for a better tomorrow. That's the main important thing. Invest yourself and others through uplifting. Thank you. I hope.
Thank you, sir. Thanks for that understanding. And I know how difficult it is to come in a forum as a last speaker where the people before you have spoken enough, and such that if every time you get a feeling that you're going to repeat the points or whatever thing. But
sure.
Definitely insightful one. Definitely, as you are supporting for students, self-regulated, self-directed learning from the student's point of view. That's what the whole focus is all about. That's what the whole future generation is all about. Future education system is all about. That's what we are thinking. As facilitators, as educators, our role is only kind of educate facilitators who will facilitate the whole process for them and help them to extend any kind of support which is required. So on that note, may I request Professor Charles to just have a summary of the whole session in few words so that we are really ahead of time. Yes, Professor Charles, please. Considering the time constraint, I think you will really...
Thank you very much, my dear sister. May God continue to bless you. I've been enjoying all the speakers. The speakers have been so, it was so nice, and I thank God for everyone. I give kudos to you.
Really.
Well done. Just what I would do, 2 minutes, I want to chip in this about the social ecosystem model and the new paradigm for skill development. As we all know, skill development is key in this present dispensation. It's key in the sense that as an educator and an educationalist, it is good we know how human society and also national world are connected and also interconnected, so as to have a sustainable education and stand the test of time on or before 2030. As we all know, framework that examine the complex interplay between social and ecological system is known as a social ecological system model, telling us that humans are deeply intertwined with their environment, in that changes in one system can also have significant impacts on the other system. And it tells us about the skills, about the model idea, highlighting the interconnectedness of human society and the natural world. As we all know, it is worthwhile to know these two key, social science and ecological science. When we talk about social science, we mean all those things that pertain human societies, like the culture, like the economics, like the technology, and also political science. When we talk of ecological system, we are talking about natural world. What are the things we look at natural world? We look at the ecosystem, we look at natural resources, and we look at the biosphere. We also look at the interaction between the dynamics involved. What are the dynamics? That is to say, about human influence, influencing the environment through agriculture and through urbanization. And we look at also the environment also is influencing the human society too, in the area of climate change and resources availability. When we look at this now, we look at the area of dynamic system and complex system, in the area of complexity and adoptions. We also look at what is being the ideal thing to exhibit. We need to exhibit non-linear changes and abrupt transition, and we look at the ship's function. They are very paramount. We also look at the area of reciprocal relationship, telling us that one characteristic of by mutual exchange and benefit, where both parties give and receive, and interaction are. We look at that area too. We look at the complexity and the adoption of it, which is very paramount. When we are looking at the capacity, the adaptive capacity, we are looking at the area of a response to changes. We are looking at the advantage of opportunity, getting potential damages. When we are talking about the benefit we derive from it, we can see that the social ecosystem can be used in promoting sustainability by understanding the interaction between the social system and the ecosystem. We also look at the area of can also contribute to more sustainable practices and policy in the essence of promoting sustainability. We also look at the area of being used to inform and to design management policy framework that addresses interlinked challenges in the area of developing effective governance, which is very important. Can also be used in health and behavior changes to understand and address the factors that influences behavior and at a multiple level, like the individual, the interpersonal, the organization, the community, and the policies. We also look at it can also be used to analyze complex issues like resource depletion. We look at climate change, biodiversity, loss, pollution by considering the social and economic devices involved. In conclusion, social economic system model is a new paradigm for skill development because it provides a holistic perspective on how human society and the environment are interconnected and how changes in one system can ripple through the other, impacting the overall well-being of both human and natural world. Therefore, we are to promote education 360 so as to educate all goals leading to one planet, ensuring inclusive, ensuring equitable, ensuring quality education, and to promote lifelong learning opportunity for all. Thank you very much for this great opportunity. We're going to bless you and bless all the listeners. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Charles. It was quite all comprehensive that you ended up so beautifully. And yeah, so to sum it up, please, if I would request all people to allow me to share my screen, if it is, because it is more relevant for today's topic, that's why. Yeah. I don't know. Whenever I see this, I really get very emotional. Why are we really curbing those wings of those learners and in terms of talking about education, confinement, and this is the system, this is what you have to learn, this is the way you have to learn, this is what it is. End of the day, they have to learn, they have to really contribute to the community when it is so exactly why exactly. This is what is the whole thing that we are thinking. So I hope everybody will agree with me definitely on that part. We open for thanks for putting up with me for one more extended hour. So we'll start with Eshwar. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. It was wonderful. Like more than the words, the way you have ended up showing the video gave a complete summary of what we all wanted to convey. Yeah, that is what critical thinking should be encouraged, creative thinking. That's very nice.
Dr. Anju Qureshi, would you like to add on that? You don't need to open your camera, but still you can.
Yeah, sure. Yes, as Ashwat ma'am said, yes, we need to, help them enhance their creativity. And especially, we talk so much about digital skills, but even for digital skills, those youngsters need to learn the life skills very much.
Yes.
Life skills, values that are very, very important. Like, for example, coding. If I have to do coding, this problem solving skills, creativity, critical thinking, all these skills are being utilized here. So we need to have a balance actually. So we are learning, or we are thinking more about digital skills and technology. Even this is very, very.
Yes, Tanuja ma'am, I think you're still there. Please, if you can add on. Tanuja ma'am, are you there? No, ma'am is left, I think. So thank you. So we'll take the final words from Krisha and we'll end this session. Sure. Krisha, what do you think about the session? You can sum it up. On that note, we end the session saying that what is actually required is that we are always talking about inclusive education. That is, we are talking now with the futuristic view, the exclusive education, which is otherwise called as a right to education. So when we talk about the education as a process, it's a human birthright. Yeah. Yes, ma'am. Tanuja ma'am, please go ahead. Sorry. Tanuja ma'am? Okay. Sorry about it. So it's a human birthright. It's a foundation aspect to drive any sustainable development. And definitely it's a bulwark against all inequalities. And no one should be deprived of this. And when whole world is a learning experience, and all these experience highlights and educates and shapes people in the society, why categorically we are terming the word schooling as education? That leaves a very little room for one's own self, creativity and aspirations. So let's come out of this phobia and think above and beyond, such that make every single life experience as a learning experience. Let's not confine it to the four walls of the classroom. So definitely when we think about this, the well-laid education constitution, which is conjugated with the well-rounded commitment of people like us, educators, which is driven universally to institute the education as a commodity, as another commodity like food, water, clothing, which is available, which is made available to every single person on earth. Why not education made as a commodity which is available to every single person on earth for the common good? So the architecture of providing such an education does not read a local community or an authority or an education authority or a government to mantle this. It needs only a portal, very simple, universal portal where all the things are available pertaining to education, pertaining to the concepts which they have to learn. It's already available. So the edifice, which is hallmark, its connectivity of the knowledge and the exploration, definitely it doesn't belong to the whole system of education. That is the education institution, what we are talking about. Whereas the education institution is the whole universe, which is really far and above and beyond the schooling system. That is the spectrum of life as education itself, such that if we do this with intergenerational justice and democratic principles, this will prioritize the participation of the young people without any prejudice or discrimination of age, gender, country, status, privilege, color, creed, status, anything. So definitely this kind of exclusive education will definitely make our education process of education is inclusive, such that the physical space is not a customary. It will be openness to the self-directive, collaborative learning based on one's own inquiry and approach, such to expedite the independent learning processes. So this learning system will emulate the learners as self-directed with pedagogies of critical thinking, metacognition, social, emotional skills, explorative learning that will precede them from the world of unknown to the known. The aggregate thus available on a common platform universally is reached out to public with a satellite vehicle as the modem of deliverance will enter the purpose of education for all, breaking all its customaries of time, affordability, and conventions. So to devise this, what we need is only a future education portal which can be accessed with a contract of learning, such that this will have a domain of the curriculum that the student has to learn, with choosing the specifications of the domain specification in terms of the curriculum in whichever country they belong to, the local, with adherence to the local community or the local standards. So with the pedagogical space and relationship between the teacher and the student will choose their own online teachers with the provision of the facilitator, language, and the learning preferences. Thereby, the curriculum design is being structured as such, and it is taken far and beyond to achieve this. So this will facilitate the whole independent way of self-directed learning without any restrictions of time, space, and attainments. Such an education of the inclusive universal system will be student-centered education, will advance the globe's solidarity, ending all current levels of inequality and discrimination, will cohort its rationale as education for all, for the cause of education, which is driven with the doctrine of education of the people, education by the people, and education for the people. So that is what is futuristic education that we are thinking about. On that note, we would end up today's topic of Education 360 with all the pointers of deliberations that we have discussed so far. On that note, may I take this moment to thank all our community partners of Global Sustainable Futures, IIU International University, Institution of Green Engineers. Thank you so much. Good Vision Seva Trust, IGEN Global, Amity University Dubai, Sairam Group and Sairam Group of Institutions, Dr. MGR Education Research Institute, Sri Eshwar College of Engineering, St. Xavier's College of Engineering, Easwari Engineering College, JNN Institute of Engineering, GRACIAS Legacy Foundation, and Global Sustainable Futures for Hope and Peace, Universal Human Values, and Green Brigade. Without our community partners, we would not have had so much and far and beyond. So we have got 2 more weeks to go to end this G20 International One Planet Cabinet. And next week is on women empowerment and youth empowerment, which is otherwise called as Shakti Spectrum. And yeah, I think this is my presentation. I'm not opening the presentation. I don't know. My screen is visible, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Here we are. So this is what is the thing. So it is on Shakti Spectrum for women empowerment, and for youth empowerment, we call it as Yuga Global. We're going to talk about the problems which are being discussed on and off with Shakti Spectrum and Yuga Global. Again, it's going to be a very long session because 2 different topics which are very crucial again for attaining sustainability. with the header of Empowered to Lead One Planet. So this is what we are going to talk about. So hope you all will join with me again for one more Sunday. So I'm sure that everybody will take leave now. It's my apologies for the long session. It's about 4 hours, but still, as passionate educators, we are still being here on this forum. In India, I think it is 11 o'clock now. Sorry, Dr. Meera ma'am, Anjum Qureshi ma'am, ma'am, and our backstage heroes, Niranjan Davis, and Kapilan sir. Definitely, Anjan, for extending all kind of big support. Thank you, Professor Charles. Thanks for being with us on this. Your presence is
Thank you. God bless you.
Until we meet again for one more session on women empowerment. And so on that note, we thank all our community partners, our chief guests who have joined us on the stage, like Professor Dr. Viswanathan sir and Dr. RENE Robin from Sairam Engineering College. Thank you, sir. Sairam Group of Institutions. Thank you so much. Dr. Vinod Shukla sir from Amity University. And thanks to all the speakers, esteemed speakers who have joined us on the stage. Like Dr. Elena Boswick, Mr. Safal Dunguna, and Dr. Eshwar Meera ma'am, and Dr. G.P. Sudha, Dr. Anjum Qureshi, Dr. Vasantirina Williams, Dr. J. Arul King, Dr. George, Dr. Arul Anurag Agnihotri, and Dr. Professor Charles. Definitely, thanks for all the big support that you have given. It has been a incessant support that I would say, which has never stopped right from the beginning. And I'm so fortunate enough to be associated with you. Only my request is that, as I always place a request, coming together is only a beginning. Staying together is process. Working together is a process. So let's all work together towards our great rational and being very passionate educators. I think we are all on the work of bringing change in the society. So thank you. Thank you so much. Each one of us are working with our own capacities in our own domain. So let's continue to put our heart, minds, and souls together for bringing change in the society. Thank you so much. Thank you. Until we meet again, Srividhya signing off for yet another one more session. Thank you, Tanuja ma'am. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you. Good night.
Good night.